Colonels basketball. The Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country. I am Kyle Haney. He is Bob Alvis. We mentioned he would be here as advertised, as promised. Mr. Roberto Alves in the building tonight. Bobby, it's the Jeff Cocke Memorial Invitational, the Christmas tournament, something we know and love, and a bit of a change before Christmas this year, but not going to dampen our festive holiday spirits. If anything, it's maybe increasing them.
That's why I'm here, because it's the Jeff Cocke Memorial Invitational, Christmas tournament, whatever you want to call it. It's basketball, and it's live on 105.5 KD Country, kdcountry.com, or the TuneIn app for all you smartphone-savvy people like my buddy Kyle Haney. But he's going to be doing the game tonight, so he doesn't have to listen. Kyle, the Chargers, not San Diego, but Central Lunenburg, down here tonight.
Lunenburg Chargers in town, a good ball club. I got a chance to chat with head coach Troy Harris about this team. We saw this team last year in Altavista. They took on the Colonels in a conference semifinal affair. Perhaps it was conference finals. Let me double-check my records on that here as the Subway pregame show continues. While we're double-checking records, let's mention another fantastic experience at Subway earlier this evening, Bob. I went with the Turkey Italiano because I was thinking Turkey Tuesday. Unbeknownst to me, it's actually Monday.
That's what Steve Harvey said.
It's Monday.
It's Tuesday. It's really Monday.
Oh, gosh.
Getting into that early, but, yeah, it is Monday, Tuesday basketball. Then the Colonels off for a little bit. Lady Colonels are in action tomorrow night as well up at Liberty High School. That should be a good one. So if you want to go and bring your smartphone with you or whatever, I mean, that's going to be two good games of basketball. But tell you what, the guy Colonels tonight have their work cut out. Monday, you don't get that Sunday practice, so maybe some weak legs, some tired legs, but I don't know. Friday was exciting.
That's exactly right, Bob. Couldn't have said it better. Friday was exciting. A buzzer beater. Yeah, we'll talk about all that and more. It's the Subway pregame show. Let's talk to the head coach, Troy Harris. Right after this, it's the Colonels, it's the Chargers. You've got yourself a ringside seat on 105.5 KD Country.
Hello, this is Jerry Motley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center. Asking everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
Start your business on a winning note with an Altavista revolving loan. It's an opportunity to score big for your company's future growth. Funds available up to $10,000. Loan rate 1% below prime. Connect with Altavista's Economic Development Director, Dennis Jarvis II at Altavista Town Hall. Make your move today. The Altavista Revolving Loan Fund encourages economic development and enhances community vitality.
KCD Maintenance. Kenny can do it. If you've got a home or business maintenance issue, Kenny can do it. Call 665-1333. That's 665-1333 for KCD Maintenance. Painting, building maintenance, minor construction, and more. Kenny can do it. Call 665-1333. Again, that's 665-1333. KCD Maintenance.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in. Bring the family. See your friends at Highview Motors. Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Subway pregame show has arrived for the Jeff Cocke Memorial Invitational here, the Christmas tournament at Altavista. That means we're chatting once again with the head coach, Troy Harris. And Coach Harris, big one tonight, but obviously we got to recap Friday night against Prince Edward. The wild finish, you guys use your customary big third quarter again. We'll get to the third quarter in a second. Talk us through the play there at the end. I know we spoke about it at the end of the game when you came over, but walk everybody through the decision to
just hold on to it and what the strategy was. I think you took a timeout with like 16.9 seconds or something like that.
Yeah, when we came out of a timeout or something happened and we had the ball and it was tied 38-38, and they just decided they were going to pack the defense in, and we probed a little bit, ran a few plays, didn't take a bad shot, which is really hard to do, especially at high school basketball level. Made good decisions, and then we just ended up holding it at half court, took a timeout with roughly 17 seconds left, drew up a play. Of course, the play didn't work, and Mateo went to make a play, got it blocked, and then Nelson was just Johnny on the spot, picked it up, and sort of did a turnaround jumper and put it in at the buzzer to win it. Pretty exciting stuff.
It was. You and I just discussed not that many buzzer beaters happened, not that many that we can remember. Obviously, Michi last year in the state semis, but you got to kind of go back a little further after that. Speaking of Johnny on the spot, let's talk about Nelson first and then talk about the third quarter. He had a big second half. I mean, defensively, he seemed to be in all the right places. Offensively, he hit a three ball that got you going. And then, of course, the big shot there at the end. Talk about Nelson Dews and the player that he is really coming into his own as.
Yeah, he's a big-time senior for us. He's been, like I've said a bunch of times, he's been chomping at the bit to get on the floor for a lot of minutes, and he just hadn't really got it, so he's taking advantage of it now. We've talked about the whole team and Nelson getting off to a faster start, because we get off to a slow start every time, and then the second half, it seems like we're loose. We got a sweat going, and the shots just seem to flow a little bit smoother for us, whereas in the first half we seem tight or we're not loose or something. But yeah, Nelson really steps his game up when we need him. We need to need him in the first quarter from now on.
Yeah, you touched on my next topic, obviously, the third quarter. You guys have been incredible in the third quarter. I think we're going to start developing nicknames for your team related around the third quarter. But I know for you as a coach, it's bittersweet because you'd love to see that effort in the first and the second quarter. Not necessarily that the effort might not be there, but I don't know. Talk more about the third quarter. I know it's not as simple as giving your halftime speech in the pregame, but what are some things you and your coaching staff maybe could do, or is there anything?
Well, I think we're going to look at warm-ups for sure. We're not sure if they're really getting a sweat going in warm-ups, or they think it's going to be easy, or they're overlooking somebody. But it's just, general things you can't do as a basketball team starting a game off. And as far as adjustments at halftime, it's out of necessity. We're down 11, 12 points. We can't sit back and let them run their offense and stuff. We got to get up and gamble. And so far it's worked out for us, but we've addressed it every day in practice to start fast, because when we get to these teams that really handle pressure really well, it probably won't be working out as favorable as it has been in the past few games.
Well, one of those teams tonight that's going to be a quality opponent is the Lunenburg Chargers. They've won some ball games this year. Colonel fans might remember them from regionals last year. Maybe I think it was a conference tournament, rather. But a team that wasn't that bad last year. Now, obviously, that group the Colonels had last year sort of made them look bad, but this is going to be a good ball club tonight, correct?
Yes, they went and saw them play William Campbell last week. They lost to William Campbell by 1. They play well together. You can tell they really like each other. There's not too much animosity. They have a really good point guard. He handles it pretty smooth. He's a distributor. He gets everybody involved. A couple big guys that really crash the glass and play really hard. They do run a lot of different defenses. I think the coach opened up the defensive book and said we're going to try them all, because we saw him play William Campbell and they were in something different every time. So we'll have our hands full figuring out which defense it is and attacking it the right way. But yeah, they are much improved. I think I've heard that they haven't played as well as a team together as they have this year, and it's really looked solid, them getting a few wins this year.
Well, let me ask you about their defense relating to your offense. Do you think on offense, do you think you guys need patience sometimes, or do you think you need to ramp up the pressure and look to be more aggressive on offense? Or maybe is the answer not that simple?
I like to see us somewhere in the middle. I like us really in the middle. We can go fast sometimes, we can go slow at times. We need to find out what rhythm we're in, and we say that word a lot in practice is rhythm. If we can find the right rhythm every time down and take a good shot, I've never told anyone not to take a shot. So if it's a good shot and it's open and it's got a good rhythm to the flow of the game, then I have no problems with what offense we're running, as long as it's a good decision being made.
Great stuff, Coach. Thanks once again. 2 great nights of basketball. We'll get it underway with the Colonels and the Chargers in about 20 minutes on 105.5 KD Country.
Christmas in other climates may be different as far as the weather's concerned, but the spirit of Christmas knows no barriers. So from El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, here's a toast to Christmas. May the ideal of our holiday enwrap the world in kindness, goodwill, and sincere reverence. Feliz Navidad from everyone at El Cazador Restaurant in Altavista. Thank you for your patronage throughout the year. Closed December 24th and 25th, open January 1st.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1909, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
It's cold in here. Will your heating system keep you warm this winter, or will you spend a cold evening shivering under the covers? Have your heating system inspected today by Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling. Kent Tyree has over 20 years experience and specializes in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical, licensed and bonded. Call for an appointment today. 309-2266. 309-2266. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling.
Hey guys, this is Terrell Sam with Best Bet Motor Sales. May the splendor of the Christmas season be yours now through the new year. Best Bet Motor Sales sends the joy of the season and the spirit of Christmas to you and your family this holiday. Best Bet Motor Sales, 29 South of Lynchburg, appreciates the opportunity to serve you throughout this past year, and we look forward to serving you in the new year and beyond. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. It's a wonderful time of year to celebrate faith, family, and traditions. And remember, guys, Best Bet Motor Sales, 29 South. Merry Christmas to everyone.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
The energy level is high on Bedford Avenue as the Colonels going through the pregame warm-ups right now, getting ready to take on the Central Lunenburg Chargers. I'm Kyle Haney. He's Bob Alvis. Bob's always laughing about something. That'll get you pumped up. It just puts a smile on your face. Bob, I don't think the energy level is high just because of the approaching holiday. I think folks are pretty excited about some good basketball. They certainly saw that Friday night in the Colonels' buzzer-beating win over Prince Edward.
Not a lot to do in terms of challenging Robert Duff's math skills on the scoreboard so far this year. But I'll tell you what, I don't think Troy Harris cares what the score is as long as he sees his team with one more point than the others, and that's what they took. Almost looked like you were going to get bonus basketball the other night in A-Town, but Nelson Dew said, I got somewhere to be. Made the shot off Mateo's miss. Nelly picks up the rebound, gets the deuce, and that was that.
Yeah, it was a 40-38 victory for the Colonels. They held the basketball for about the last 4 minutes of the game, and due in part the fact that Prince Edward did not come out past the three-point line and challenge them on defense, and the Colonels opted to just hold for the last shot. Ends up working out. Coach Troy Harris told me off the air, it's kind of like that big poker game where you just put all your chips in for one hand, you go all in, and when it works, it's great. And the luxury that the Colonels had, Bob, was they had more timeouts than Prince Edward, and with a tie game, if you miss that shot, it's not that bad because you're going into overtime. Coach Harris said, if we're down 1 or 2 there, then we're not waiting. We're putting up a shot with 4 minutes left, and we're trying to maximize the opportunities. Let's get to the next point. I think you alluded to it just a little bit in our opening segment of the Subway pregame show. Danger of possibly riding very high after a win like that, and the Colonels are 5-1. I mean, things are going great in general, not just that win, but I think things are probably at an all-time high for this team's self-esteem as far as this season's concerned.
And you got to hope that they're not, playing their best too early in the year. Obviously, I've never heard any coach say, man, we played our best basketball in December. Rarely do you hear that.
Sure.
But a 5-1 start for these guys, which I don't think a lot of people would have pegged either.
No, I think a lot of people maybe underestimated this team, possibly underestimated Coach Harris as well. And maybe they thought, well, they're going to win games, but the exciting moments won't be there. You lose Thornhill, you lose the Johnsons, Malbeck, etc. There's certainly been a lot of good, exciting moments in this gym, Bob, to where the fans have gotten on their feet. Fans of all ages and all sizes, too. I mean, this is great basketball the Colonels are playing right now. Like you said, scoreboard numbers might not be going so high, but defensively, rebounding, some of those hustle plays, the things that don't show up in the stat sheets, I think Coach Harris and his staff are very pleased with those.
Yeah, and, I remember my first few years when doing some of these games. Some of these games were in the 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
Back when you look at some of those legendary games with Nelson when they had Blair Haxel and Derek Crawford. Yeah. And, don't get me wrong, the Colonels back then could run and go, but I think this team's still trying to find its identity, still trying to find, as you know, I like to say, the guy.
The guy?
Who's the guy? I don't know if you know who the guy is yet, but it's a good problem to have when everybody's pitching in. And, the one thing that I think that maybe has surprised most people is they thought when Mike Cardallero left, the defense might, die down a little bit. I don't think so. I don't know. You can obviously tell Coach Harris is working these guys in practice, because if not, they're not playing like this on the floor.
Absolutely.
You play the way you practice, or practice the way you play, however you want to put it. These guys are playing hard right now. I have a feeling that's really coming in the dedication in those hours when they're not people in these bleachers.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think this team's buying into the defensive philosophy too, Bob. Sometimes 16, 17, 18-year-olds, you say defense, 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 it goes in one ear and out the other. These guys are buying it. They're believing into it. Let's step aside for a moment. Bob and I will gather some more thoughts and some more information. The starting lineups will be here before you know it. The light show will be here before you know it. And then it'll be tip-off between the Central Lunenburg Chargers and the host Altavista Colonels. Only place to hear high school basketball in Central Virginia. Well, you better hurry up and know that, Bobby. It's 105.5 KD Country.
This broadcast is brought to you by the KD Country Sports Club.
It's Chef's Drive-In, keeping drive-ins alive with hometown pride and service.
One Stop Mart, where the gas is cheap, the beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking.
El Cerrito Altavista. Throw on a sombrero. Shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time.
Altavista Medical and Oncology Massage Therapy at Broad Street can relieve your pain.
Vista Food, Altavista, your hometown grocery with the freshest produce and the best meats.
McDonald's in Altavista, committed to the community and now serving breakfast all day.
KD Country Basketball Broadcast, brought to you by members of the Altavista Sports Club.
Zaxby's, Wards Ferry Road, Lynchburg.
Man, that house salad looks good.
Dude, it's so good.
How about one bite for the road?
No.
Sharing is caring.
No. You can't have any of my salad, bro.
Wait, I got it right here.
I got $20 in a dream, yeah.
Well, that's a hit right there, dude.
Thank you.
Thanks, dude.
The house salad. Grilled chicken atop mixed greens, cucumbers, Roma tomatoes, cheddar and jack cheeses, and fried onions. Served with Texas toast. Zaxby's, indescribably good.
Businesses today are often focused on keeping their costs down, and we can help. I'm Daniel Wheeler with First National Bank, and we have a long history of offering cost-efficient business accounts. Today, we have a wide range of low-cost accounts for any size business. So just ask us about our business economy checking, small business interest checking, or other smart accounts. For progressive business banking, First National Bank will help you with an extraordinary customer experience. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
We return to Altavista High School. It's a Subway pregame show. They did a national anthem before the Brookville and Perry McClure game, Bob. Brookville won, by the way, folks, 63-34. I don't know if they're going to do the national anthem again. Do you remember how they do it typically?
I don't think so.
You don't think you remember? You don't think they're going to do a national anthem?
Exactly. I can just say I don't think so, but either one. And it covers me. Altavista with the win tonight would be a sweep of Altavista former players getting a win tonight. It's Coach Chester and the Brookville Bees got the win. And it does not look like they're doing the national anthem because I see any,
they're going to read a special announcement about Jeff Cocke. We'll talk about Jeff Cocke at halftime tonight. If you don't know the backstory behind him, big-time Colonel fan and used to help run the clock as well. Some shout-outs before we get to our starting lineup, Bob. We want to say hello to Hector and George at Highview Motors GMC, one of our fine sponsors. They are working so hard up there, and they're both big Colonel fans. We also would like to send a shout-out to the gang at Bug Motors. Victor, Tim, and Hugh, they're tuned in up there 5 minutes just south of the airport on Route 29. Go see Bug Motors next time you're in the market for a new or used vehicle or you need some service. And also a shout-out, and this is a good one, Dr. Tom Miller at Roanoke Orthopedic. He's a rotator cuff guru, Bob. He did some work on our fine executive producer, Elizabeth Haney, and it turns out he's a basketball fan, and she said, oh, yeah, we do some games on the radio. You ought to tune in, etc. So they're listening in Roanoke. They're listening in La Quinta, California, where the Gaffords are vacationing in sunny La Quinta, and Ty's probably working on his golf game right now. He's got Marcus out there chipping and putting, etc. And I don't know. We'll have some more shout-outs to come. Well, you got anybody in mind early?
No, I was just looking at the time, and it's about 4:40.
Oh, he's definitely playing.
Ty's
golf
on
then.
30 on hole number probably 27.
That's right.
Of the day.
Let me thank our starting lineup as well. We've already mentioned them, so let's start with Highview Motors GMC. From small to tall, Highview has it all. El Cazador, be sure to try their new menu, Main Street in Altavista. KCD Maintenance, Ken Can Do It Maintenance. Call 665-1333. English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. The Altavista Office of Economic Development, helping Altavista grow. PCM Industrial Services, serving the Mid-Atlantic region with quality maintenance and construction service. Best Bet Motors, a respected name you can trust, minutes south of the airport on Route 29. The Moose Family Center, bringing communities closer together and celebrating life. Be a Moose. Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, a family serving families since 1905. English's, your complete home center, now offering a complete line of Carhartt clothing for men. I'm a size large, Bob. Christmas coming up very soon. The First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer, warm in the winter, comfortable in between. Feller Chevrolet, a short drive will save you money. They sponsor our YouTube rebroadcast. Go hear the buzzer beater from Nelson Dews anytime you want. And if you're streaming online like they are in California, in Roanoke, in Manhattan like Jay Rosser, across the pond, Oscar Briggs' sister lives in England and she likes to listen, Bob. So if you're streaming online, that audio brought to you by Chad Rakos, your Allstate agent in Windhurst. Basketball fans, always in good hands with Chad Rakos. This is the Subway pregame show, and the light show is underway. You can probably still hear the crowd get into it, although admittedly it's a bit of a smaller crowd tonight, Bob.
It is. You know, most people do maybe venture away for the holidays, but didn't even mention the kids are not in school this week too, so that's a little bit different of your routine to where it disrupts when you're not going to school until 2:30, then maybe a pregame meal or shoot around, whatever, watching some film. But I ventured to guess that Coach Harris did not have them where they could sleep in until 10 or 11. You want the legs up and the legs going.
Yeah, he mentioned that Friday on the Subway pregame show. The plan was, and I'm pretty sure they stuck to it, get them up for a shoot-around both days around 8. Like you said, get the legs moving, not more of a jog through than a walk through, I think, to borrow a football expression. And then let them go hang out, play some video games, all that kind of stuff. Maybe catch a nap in there, but at least it's not a nap in this so-and-so's sixth period class, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry, I was taking a nap while you were talking there. But
perfect. I love this guy.
Definitely a time where you want to see some basketball. You're going to see some good basketball. Altavista is going to be dressed in the home whites. Central Lunenburg in the black, yellow, and purple blocks on the right and left of the leg. The numeral is outlined in yellow tonight. It's kind of like a Lakers alternate jersey.
Oh, yeah.
So better. Shout out to my old friend Tom Brown, who joined us for a couple games. We need to each mention like 5 people on Twitter before the game and see how many will retweet. Right, to signify they're listening.
Right, absolutely.
I'm going to go Tyson Fury, Barack Obama, and I'll come up with the other 3 later.
You want to go big. You want to go as celebrities.
Go big or go home.
No better uniform description in the game than provided by the one and only Bob Alvis. Starters tonight. Lunenburg is going to go with number 3, L.J. Watson. Number 10, Daryl Jones. Number 30, Brandon Scott. Number 35, Jeremiah Davis. And I'm missing one
There's a 33 out there.
33. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That means you're going to have to do some work here, Bob.
Guess what?
No 33 on the official roster.
No, sir.
He's going to be the mystery man right now. We'll find out as soon as we can. We'll get over there to the scorers table. We'll text our friend Robert Duff. Starters tonight for the Colonels, same 5 for them. Number 30, Josh McClure. Number 1, Cameron Hughes. Number 3, Mateo Malbeck. Number 4, Daquan Poindexter. And number 2, Nelson Deuce. The Gafford family is tuned in out there on the left coast. Just got the word. Tip goes to McClure. He catches, holds it up to his chest. Now over to Nelson Deuce. Colonel's in the front court immediately after the jump ball. Hopefully that masked man, masked and anonymous, doesn't score a bunch
have
of points.
20 in the first.
Zone defense, it looks like to start out for Central Lunenburg. And Ty Gafford did a great job over here as the color commentator Friday, Bob. So you've got big shoes to fill.
I cannot fill those. I can only hope to get in half of them.
Okay. Yeah, put them on, lace them up tight, see what you can do. Colonel's just working around the perimeter here. 3 ball away from Nelson Deuce. Short, Cameron Hughes rising up nicely for a rebound. Stuck underneath the hoop. Lost the basketball. It's out of bounds. Last touch off number 30, Brandon Scott. Colonels will retain possession underneath their own scoring bucket. 7:23 left to play in the Englishes, your complete home center, first quarter. No score. Lunenburg has not touched the basketball yet, unless you count the bop out of bounds by Brandon Scott. Malback gets to the free throw line. Jump shot hit the backboard, then the back of the rim. Rebound still loose. There's McClure at the free throw line with the offensive board. Cameron Hughes nearly got another one. Now Central Lunenburg finally clears it off the glass, then they throw it away. They say it was tipped away off the Colonels. 2 extra chances there, but no bucket, and we played 1 minute of basketball here from Altavista High School. This is number 3, L.J. Watson, a sophomore. He's going to hand it off to Brandon Scott. Scott circling the defense to his left. Gets to the left free throw line, extended now in the corner to Jeremiah Davis. Davis lost on the bounce. Smallback was going to save it out of bounds. It's off Altavista. I think Mateo thought it was off of a Lunenburg Charger. That's why he didn't go after it harder.
I'm kind of a fan. I've seen it happen a few times here and there lately. Always go after that ball because you never know. If you don't put it in the official's hands, you know, that's one less thing you have to worry about.
Excellent point. Help side defense here has to collapse on Jeremiah Davis. He missed his first shot, missed his second one. Tip to the rim, no good. Out of bounds, last touch off Cameron Hughes. This ball is going to stay with Chargers. 33 for Lunenburg. Bob is pretty well put together.
Yeah, we're going to get it.
I have a feeling we're going to have to call his name at some point. Inbound play goes to L.J. Watson. He'll fire for 3. Rebound on the right post by the Altavista Colonels, Cameron Hughes. Hughes tried to bounce it in the corner, and it got intercepted. This is Brandon Scott to the left edge of the paint with the right hand. Won't fall. Malback ties up Daryl Jones nicely. That's a jump ball. And possession arrow showing Lunenburg with 6:14 left to play in the first. Still no score.
Almost 2 minutes in, and tell you that bucket is looking to be kind to somebody here, but not a ton of shots either. So it's not like the shooting percentages are abysmal so far either.
Offenses seem to be trying to feel out the defenses. Malback rising and firing from 15 feet outside the lane is fouled. This will send Mateo Malback to the free throw line to shoot 2 with 6:04 remaining in the first period. Yeah. Hey, Bob, let's mention the shout-outs. We love giving them. Get in touch with either me or Bob on Twitter, KD Country on Twitter or Facebook. Info@KD Country is the email. Our sound engineer, Eleanor Haney, checks that periodically throughout the game. And as I mentioned, you could call a station, but that's not the preferred mode of communication.
We'd prefer you not, actually, because Eleanor does have a lot to do.
She is busy. Not that she can't answer a call. Mateo made the first, missed the second. Rebound was loose for a moment, and then Lunenburg grabs it. They're going the other way with it. L.J. Scott with a chest pass to Jeremiah Davis. Davis will use the right-hand dribble. Scott nearly lost on the return pass. 1-0 at Colonels. Not a baseball game, a basketball game. 5:45 left to play in the first. Scott lost it, stripped away by Daquan Poindexter. Now Daquan loses it. Good job by Brandon Scott from Lunenburg to recapture the basketball and get it turned around on offense again.
I don't know how much it was stripped by Daquan or just handed off to Daquan, per se, and there is going to be a foul. It'll be the first one against the Colonels.
Hey, speaking of, go ahead.
Oh, no,
I was going to say, speaking of shout-outs, head coach Mike McGrath of the Central Lunenburg Chargers, he retweeted one of our tweets about letting the Lunenburg fans know that they could tune in. So, hello to everybody out there in Lunenburg County, Victoria, all those fantastic spots out there in Lunenburg. L.J. Scott got the basketball on the ground and then stood up with it, and they called him for traveling. He was surrounded by a couple Colonels and didn't have much of a choice either way.
Can't do that. You got to be dribbling the basketball when you're getting up off the floor with the basketball, even if it's a slight move or even if you're on the ground, really, you can't be rolling around either.
Exactly
Got to
right.
have movement of that basketball.
Zone defense still being applied by Central Lunenburg. Coach Harris sends out a signal to the offense. Lawrence Galliard in the ball game now for the Colonels. Nelson Hughes wants to fire for three, and it's good. Colonel.
Your friends at Feller Chevrolet wish to join you and your family on this festive occasion that is Christmas. It's Feller's desire that you and your loved ones enjoy a blessed holiday, and that all be filled with the realization of the magnitude of the greatest of all days. Brought to you by Feller Chevrolet, Main Street, Altavista. Closed December 24th and 25th for Christmas, and Friday, January 1st.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
Is there a painting project on your to-do list? English's Home Center has added an additional line of paints. English's features Pratt & Lambert Lifetime Warranty Red Seal exterior paints. Choose from hundreds of stunning, beautiful designer colors. Pratt & Lambert interior or exterior paints. Value price to save you money. Pratt & Lambert paints. Never compromise.
English's is your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
We return first quarter action. Colonels lead 4-0 over Lunenburg. Chargers can't get the ball in the bucket, but here's a good opportunity. Daryl Jones tried to go 1-on-3. Colonels defense got back nicely, but McClure ends up bodying Jones to the deck, and McClure hit the deck as well, and Daryl Jones will shoot a pair of free throws.
Hard to get back that quick, plant, and be the human statue as McClure was trying to do. And it will send Central Lunenburg to the stripe for a pair.
First one off the back iron, no good. 3:58 left to play in the first. 4-0, Colonels lead. I promise you we're not going to have the same technical difficulties, folks. We're going to remedy it faster if the same problem happens. Second free throw, no good. Battle for it. Daquan Poindexter got his arm hung up in the jersey of the mystery man, number 33, and it ends up being a jump ball tie-up.
I'm going to check the conditions out there after the first quarter, by the way, just to see if I can find out who our friend is.
Yes. Check the ice while you're out there, too. The Zamboni machine's been having technical difficulties like we have. 4-0. Colonels lead in the front court. Here's Maulback slicing to the hoop, leaves it all for Galliard, who is fouled. Shot won't fall, but he'll go to the free throw line and shoot a pair with 3:41 left to play in the first. Colonels sporting the 4-0 lead.
Mike McGrath wants to see the numbers in the red move, not the ones in the green. The green indicating fouls, as that is the second one against the Chargers. Still no points.
I never thought about the color scheme up there until you pointed it out, Bob. The score is in yellow. Those fouls are in green. It presents a fairly nice holiday theme up there on the scoreboard. Not that they change it for the holidays.
Right.
It's like that year-round.
That would be pretty cool.
It would be. Galliard's second free throw does drop in. 5-0, Colonels on top.
That's why I'm here, to do that in uniform descriptions. I heard people said I was your idol.
You point out some things, just a different perspective.
Of course, I started that rumor.
First shot air ball by Lunenburg. Colonels battled themselves for the rebound, and then Brandon Scott got it back. Second shot up, no good. Lunenburg's going to have a third or fourth chance. Three ball on the way from Jeremiah Davis.
Only
two.
Only
Put
a two.
on the line, too. Good eyes by you, Bob, to see the official. 5-2. Colonels still lead, but the lead has been cut into. Central Lunenburg's got a steal now. That's Jeremiah Davis on the other end defensively, stepped in front of a McClure entry pass. 3:05 left to play in the first. Davis crossover dribble working on McClure. Now it's a chest pass between the circles to Watson. Watson starts left, changes his mind, goes to the right, and leaves it off to the mystery man, number 33. Good frame. What do you think, Bob? He's about 6'2", 180, 190 pounds.
Yeah, he's not from parts unknown.
Too. No, he's not. Watson stripped away. Here comes Nelson Dews on the run out. The other side, right edge of the rim. Free throw, or layup is good. Pardon me, not a free throw. 7-2. Nelly with the deuce.
I think Dews thought he was going to get some contact. Did not let that at all affect his shot. And the Colonels in front by 5.
2.5 left to play in the first. Driving layup by Jeremiah Davis won't go. Lawrence Galliard rejected a second chance opportunity. Lunenburg still has the basketball with 2:19 left to play. They're down 5. 7-2, Colonel's advantage. Look at Davis shredding the defense to the window and in. Nice job by Jeremiah Davis. Scored on the long 2, scores on the inside 2, 7-4.
Gets to the rack like a bullfrog.
Oh, boy. Bob Alvis is in good form tonight, folks. Ty Gafford apparently shot 73 out there in sunny La Quinta, California, so he's in good form, too. Malbeck had to save it from going back court. Just towed that half-court stripe. 1:48 left to play. Colonels lead by 3. Here's Malbeck. Runner up with the right hand. Won't go. Galliard, right place, right time, right in front of the rim for 2. 9-4, Colonels.
I'll tell you one thing that's impressed me about the Colonels when I've at least seen them, Kyle. They're not rushed into taking bad shots. And for a young group with lack of court time for a lot of these guys, you would think that they're just going to be firing from everywhere. But they take very sound shots.
They've shown patience when they needed to. Jumper up and good from number 20. Oh, don't tell me we don't have a 20 either. What are we doing here, Bob?
We got it after the quarter.
Okay.
No, we got it after the quarter.
All right, Bob Alvis is my hero, going to save the day. Malbeck threw it away. Don't know who he's looking for, but it never got into a Colonel's hands. 9-6, Altavista on top. Chargers could tie with a 3-ball here. 62 seconds left to play in the first. Jeremiah Davis, jab step, head fake, kind of NBA-like move on the three-point line, then he's fouled as he's passing it away. 58.5 seconds left in the first. That was first one on Mateo Malbeck, third one on the Colonels as a team.
Obviously, Jeremiah, not a good friend of Mateo. That's all I'm going to do because I really only know like the first stanza of Joy to the World by Three Dog Night.
Oh, Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting into the music.
One of my
thing now.
favorite.
Now you're speaking my language. We got some baseball references coming up later, by the way. Jacob Adams in the ball game for the first time for the Altavista Colonels. Here's Davis, catches corner right in front of us. Lay-in won't go. Bringing up the far sideline by Cameron Hughes. Colonels clear the basketball nicely off the glass there. Daquan Poindexter wants to try a 3. Kind of a knuckleball shot, won't fall. Cameron Hughes just fires a second chance to the hoop. That won't go. Tried to bat it out of the hands of a Lunenburg rebounder, but couldn't jar it loose. 35 seconds left to play in the first. 9-6, Colonels on top by 3. 3-ball on the way from Davis. Back of the iron. High rebound collected in between the paint and the three-point line by Chancellor Mormon. Mormon in transition to Hughes. Hughes took too many steps, and that's a traveling violation. Lunenburg's going to get the ball back with just over 22 seconds left to play in the first.
Got to wonder, will they set up for one? Does not look like it.
No, it doesn't. Davis, spin move in the middle of the lane. Soft jump shot won't fall. Here's Jacob Adams. He's in a hurry the other way. In and out of traffic. To the hoop. Jacob Adams lay-in won't fall. Rebound grab by Central Lunenburg. 6 seconds left. Up tempo here. Down to 4. L.J. Watson sees the clock. Over to Davis. Davis driving. Floater from the right edge will fall at the buzzer. 9-8 is how we will wrap up the first quarter. Colonels lead by 1. Quick timeout on 105.5 KD Country.
PCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this award-winning broadcast. PCM Industrial Maintenance and Construction Specialists providing welding, millwright, erection, and fabrication services to all forms of industry throughout the Mid-Atlantic region. From offices in Altavista, PCM Industrial Services wishes Coach Harris and the Altavista basketball team a safe and successful season. Go Colonels!
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
9-8, Colonels on top after 1. Against the Central Lunenburg Chargers, it's the Jeff Cocke Memorial Invitational, the Christmas tournament. Brookville Bees knocked off Perry McClure in the first game, 63-34. Colonels will play the Fighting Blues of Perry McClure tomorrow, and Lunenburg will play Brookville, so you see how it works. Obviously, the Colonels and the Bees have already played twice this year. They split those contests. First quarter really flew by. Bob Alvis doing some homework now, trying to figure out the players on the roster that we had confused from Central Lunenburg. We do quite a bit of prep for these games, but sometimes it's just not enough. And people switch jerseys. Sometimes the road jerseys don't match up with the home jerseys. All kinds of different possibilities, but that's why Bob's the best in the business, folks. He's going to get it straight. 7:49 left to play in the second. You didn't miss much action there. Ball got bounced off of Nelson Dews, and the Colonels will inbound on the far sideline. Altavista on top, 9-8. This is Daryl Jones inbounding in front of the Colonels bench. Off to L.J. Watson. Back to Jones on the far sideline. Jones holds it over his head. Going to try and bounce it down low to Davis. Davis got it blocked by Daquan Poindexter. Nice rejection by Poindexter. Couldn't hang on to the basketball, but it was a good job to deny the bucket. Bob, you've returned, and I hope you're bearing gifts.
Didn't it look like an adventure over there for me?
L.J. Watson, no adventure from the left-hand corner for three, gives Lunenburg their first lead of the ball game, 11-9.
Chargers quietly on a 7-0 run.
Yeah, I don't know how quiet it is for Coach Troy Harris. He's not particularly pleased with the defense the Colonels are playing. Daquan Poindexter from the left side of the rim knocks it in off the backboard. We're tied 11-11. First tie since 0-0.
Yeah, Colonels might have gotten away with one there. It kind of looked like Poindexter cleared out with the elbow, and they get a turnover.
Underneath, shovel pass was not completed. Nelson Dew stepped in front for the interception. Nelly a little bit out of control on the other side for the lay-in, won't fall. Up and down the other side of the rim goes Jeremiah Davis, and that was sort of altered by Daquan Poindexter. Now Nelly, a fadeaway jumper from 7 feet is good. Baseline to baseline basketball. I don't think the Colonels particularly mind it. They've got the lead back 13-11.
Don't know when they taught that little spin and fadeaway at the Y. I don't think you get that when you're 8 years old. You got to get up to the advanced levels.
You got to watch his
Hughes is clear too.
Yep. Jumper up and good from Brandon Scott. Tied again, 13-13. So, maybe the Colonels will settle it down a little bit. Nope, Nelson Dews wants to fire. Back iron, long rebound controlled by Central Lunenburg.
That was on cue.
Yeah, exactly. I thought we might have time to get some witty banter in or maybe even some legit analysis. Cameron Hughes lost the basketball. He maintained possession of the basketball. He lost his feet, and one of his toes touched the out-of-bounds stripe.
Don't know if they really ever touched. It kind of hovered over top of him, though. But, again, I'll tell you what, the officials always have a better view than us.
Yes,
They've been trained to pick up, these kind of nuances. As you might say, well, how could they miss that? Well, sometimes they're not looking at a spot where you think they should be.
Right. Here's number 20. Did you give me a name on that guy?
Yeah, I did. It is actually Tyleek Thomas.
Oh, that's Tyleek Thomas.
We had a couple of jersey switches.
That's what I suggested when you're out of the way about one of the reasons why possibly. High rebound.
Out of the way.
Yeah. High rebound can't get controlled by the Colonels. They had 3 people surrounding it but couldn't grab it. L.J. Watson, up and under layup, won't fall. It's batted out to the 3-point line. Lunenburg's going to try again with an unorthodox jump shot. Now Daquan Poindexter's able to grab it 1 foot outside the paint. He's thinking about coast to coast and fouled on his way up. That's going to be 2.
Really bailed out right there as well. Colonel's really just no other way to put it. A little sloppy here in the first couple minutes of the second quarter. 13 apiece. Jeff Cocke Memorial Invitational, and it is going to be Daquan Poindexter at the stripe for a pair. Foul went against number 30. That's Brandon Scott.
Well, you heard Coach Harris in the pregame interview. He doesn't mind up-tempo. He doesn't mind quick shots as long as it's in the rhythm and the flow of the offense. And some of these shots have not been. Daquan Poindexter cans the first free throw. Substitutes coming in the ball game for the Colonels. Let's reset the 5 on the court right now for them. It's Chancellor Mormon, Nelson Dews, Daquan Poindexter, Jacob Adams, and Lawrence Galliard. That's 2 sophomores in Galliard and Adams, a senior in Nelson Dews, and a pair of juniors with Poindexter and Mormon. Both free throws converted by Poindexter, 15-13. Colonels have the lead.
Shout out to my friend Travis Kerr. He's listening. We'll play his alma mater later this year when Altavista takes on Appomattox. Scott misses.
Off balance, wouldn't go in. Davis had a second crack at it. Nelson Dews rips the third try away from him. Nelly slicing through the defense like hot butter. Now it's over to Daquan Poindexter, who's bodied, and he'll go back to the free throw line. Shot never made it to the rim, but Daquan drew enough contact to get the whistle blown. Second foul on number 30, Brandon Scott. Both teams have 4 as a team.
We got to get his smooth to where we can do those shout-outs when it's in the air like Phil Rizzuto used to do with fly ball.
Yes. Well, granted, a fly ball generally stays in the air longer than a jumper, but I don't know. If you're shooting from Steph Curry range, you're one of those guys that stays up in the air a while, doesn't it? First one good by Daquan Poindexter.
The old full court shot at the end of the game while the ball is in the air. Happy birthday.
I love it. Poindexter has made his last 3 in a row. On the year, he's shooting 68%. Colonel shooting 57% from the free throw line. Poindexter makes the second one as well. That 57% number is actually a little bit better because they were not very good in the Brookville game. So after that, they've probably been up around 70%. Foul on the floor as Jeremiah Davis turns around for a jumper.
Poindexter, who has gone to the line for straight times if you count the last 2 fouls.
Right. Inbound play. This is L.J. Watson. Now he's up to the top of the key to Davis. Davis, jab step, working on Galliard. Now he's got a double team. Line drive shot to the rim won't fall. And Adams had it for a moment, and then Tyleek Thomas grabbed it and fell to the floor, held on to it. So similar traveling violation as before, just the opposite. He went from feet down to the ground.
Adams a heady play there. I don't know if he took his hands away from it intentionally, but it did let the Charger hit the deck, and instead of being a jump ball, it became a travel.
It did. 17-13. Colonel's on top by 4. 4:38 left to play in the second quarter. Poindexter's going to try the NBA three. It was just a tad short. I mean, that was a full 25 feet right there. Mormon with a nice hustle play to get down and try and pick it away. You might have even could have heard him say what as he went by on the radio. Didn't seem to agree with the call.
Right.
That's the beauty of being courtside.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's action-packed. I remember there were a lot of times where being courtside meant you had to keep your eyes open.
You still do. Inbound play. Shot won't fall for number 33, Raymond Alexander. He was listed as 40 on my roster, so we now know who Raymond Alexander is. And I should have guessed because he was a very good tight end and defensive end for Central Lunenburg.
Third foul on Poindexter, by the way. 6 against the home team. First foul shot is up and in.
4:25 left to play in the English's Your Complete Home Center second quarter. English's, your home for Carhartt apparel for men. Also, folks, English's will be closed Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So, Bob, you need to get that Carhartt stuff from me by the 23rd, okay? That's Festivus, too. I know you got big plans on Festivus. Steal by Chancellor Mormon. Mormon bumped by L.J. Watson as he was trying to turn in the transition game. Colonels will inbound on the far sideline, right in front of the scorer's table.
I'm sure most all of our fine sponsors have something that you could get that person in your life, even if it's just a gift certificate.
It's an
thought that
excellent
counts,
point, Bob. It's a very great point. Ballback's going to take the air out of the ball between the circles. Overhead to Chancellor Mormon. Return pass to Mateo. Now it's left wing to Josh McClure. He dribbles in, gets cut off, decides to retreat back out. We've played half of this second quarter. Mormon, three-pointer, too strong. Saved in by Jacob Adams. Nice play there. McClure thought about driving. Now it's back to Adams. Good ball movement here from the Colonels. Malbeck stepping in across the free throw line. Shot is good from about 14 feet on the bounce by Mateo Malbeck. 19-14. 3:40 left to play. Good exchange there on offense for the Colonels, wasn't it, Bob?
Absolutely. Colonels went back to the patience approach, went back to the if the shot's not there, don't take it approach, and it led to 2.
Here's Darrell Jones trying to travel on the baseline. Mormon was guarding him, thought he got him clean. Referees thought otherwise, and I believe he's going to send Darrell Jones, a sophomore, to the free throw line to shoot a pair for Lunenburg. 3:29 left to play in the second.
Mormon disagreed, but I thought he probably had some body bumping going on there as Lunenburg can have the opportunity to score with the clock stopped, and they will on the first, and it will earn a second one for DJ. Darrell Jones.
Referee, I like that, though. Referees have been pretty good. They were really good Friday night. Mr. Gafford and I commented on that multiple times. Jones knocks down the back end. 19-16. Colonel's lead trimmed to 3. 3:25 left to play in the second quarter. Zone defense for Central Lunenburg in the road, purple and black. Adams wants to try a 3 in the right corner for the Colonels. No good. Galliard battled for the rebound, then he gave up on it because he didn't want to commit a foul. Smart play there for just a sophomore. Watson gets it in quickly. Free throw line jumper by Jeremiah Davis won't go. McClure grabs the rebound, hugs the basketball to protect it. Now he lost it. Here comes Davis to the rack with a two-handed flush. It wasn't a power jam, but it was...
You're listening to Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country, WKDE Altavista, Lynchburg.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
Hello, this is Jerry Motley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center, Zach's and everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels lead by 150 left to play in the second quarter. I'm Kyle Haney. He's Bob Alvis. Hope you're enjoying your Christmas week wherever you are. Colonels with the basketball in the front court. They lead by 1. Lead was as much as 6 at one point, Bob. No greater than that. It's been a tight ball game.
Lunenburg's fought back.
Sure
really
have.
making this a test right now.
Couple ties, 2 lead changes. Galliard hits the deck as his shot from the right edge of the paint won't fall. But he's going to go to the charity stripe and shoot a pair.
And no rest for the weary for either group. Raymond Alexander picks up the foul, his second, 7 on the Chargers, as they will both be back in action tomorrow night as Galliard misses the first.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. Lunenburg will play Brookville. Altavista will play Perry McClure. Sort of a round-robin effect. Second one won't fall either. Lead for the Colonels stuck at 1. 1:20 left to play in the half. Quickly ahead to Darrell Jones. Jones shot from the left baseline wouldn't go. Jacob Adams grabs the long rebound. Malback in transition. Right-hand finish from the left side won't fall. Rebound cleared away by Raymond Alexander. 1:04 left to play in the half. Colonels up by 1. Lunenburg can take the lead back here with a field goal. Davis, spin move. Hook shot from outside. The paint won't fall. It's rebound on the right post by Jacob Adams. Adams going to use a right-hand dribble to get it up the court. Batted away. McClure catches the deflection.
Using a lot of time to get in the front court there as well, where the Colonels get defense by the Chargers.
Malback throws up a wild shot, but he sensed the contact. Just threw it to the backboard.
If you're either team, line and shoot too. Hate to commit the foul right here, Kyle. You're in the bonus if you're both teams, so you don't want to be giving somebody extra shots to score.
38.3 seconds left. Malback's first free throw off the side of the iron and no good. Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, you got to be careful about fouling right here. You want to play good defense. You want to pressure the ball. You want to pressure off the ball somewhat too. But to commit a foul right here this late in the half is generally a no-no. Second one from Mateo will rattle around and drop in. Colonels lead by 2 now.
Colonels having a lot of splits tonight to go the bowling analogy on you.
Yeah, come on. You waited too long for that. That should have happened in the pregame show.
Well, they started doing more splits later on, so.
Ballback couldn't get the steal, but he commits the foul on the floor. So there it is, the aforementioned one you didn't want to give up. Although I think you like the effort from Mateo right there. He's gambling, trying to knock it away. 20-18. Colonels lead by 2. L.J. Watson can cut into it or tie from the charity stripe with a 1-on-1 situation here.
You got to be a controlled gambler, though. It can't just be taking everything that's on the board.
Absolutely right. You're Bob, high marks for you so far. Don't let it go to your head.
I'm
We've only
not
played
coming
a half.
back tomorrow.
We've only played a half, but
quit while I'm ahead. Watson sinks.
Solid stuff here.
Down by a point.
20-19.
I tell you, Lunenburg, sometimes like the unwanted in-laws at Christmas time, just will not leave.
Yep.
20-20 as Watson sinks both. I don't think they've done anything outstanding, but they have really just stayed there with the Colonels blow for blow.
Yep. Got a nice inside-outside game. They can score in multiple ways. Mateo's going to take the air out of the basketball. He's 2 feet from the half-court stripe. No defender within 5 or 10 feet of him.
No interest in shooting either.
Down to 10 seconds. Now the Colonels will initiate. It's Galliard between his circles. Nelson Dews for a setup. 3 is good. Nelly does it again, and the Colonels have a lead again. Buzzer's going to sound. Half-court shot hit the backboard from Brandon Scott, but it would not go in. We played.
Start your business on a winning note with an Altavista revolving loan. It's an opportunity to score big for your company's future growth. Funds available up to $10,000. Loan rate 1% below prime. Connect with Altavista's Economic Development Director, Dennis Jarvis II at Altavista Town Hall. Make your move today. The Altavista Revolving Loan Fund encourages economic development and enhances community vitality.
KCD Maintenance. Kenny can do it. If you've got a home or business maintenance issue, Kenny can do it. Call 665-1333. That's 665-1333 for KCD Maintenance. Painting, building maintenance, minor construction, and more. Kenny can do it. Call 665-1333. Again, that's 665-1333. KCD Maintenance.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in. Bring the family, see your friends at Highview Motors. Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
Christmas in other climates may be different as far as the weather's concerned, but the spirit of Christmas knows no barriers. So from El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, here's a toast to Christmas. May the ideal of our holiday enwrap the world in kindness, goodwill, and sincere reverence. Feliz Navidad from everyone at El Cazador Restaurant in Altavista. Thank you for your patronage throughout the year. Closed December 24th and 25th, open January 1st.
Feliz Navidad.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
The Subway halftime show has arrived from Altavista High School. Colonels lead by 3 over the Central Lunenburg Chargers. I'm Kyle Haney. He's Bob Alvis. We get to some more shout-outs, and hopefully we can mention your name if you get in touch with us. Bob, we can always mention the great customer service at Subway and 3 great locations around town as well. Main Street, inside the Walmart on Clarion Road, and then further up the road inside Foster Fuels on Route 29. You always eat fresh at Subway. Give them your line. Give them your line.
The only mistake is not opening the door. I was going to say it's never too early or never too late to go to Subway, but they do have hours of opening and closing. But, hey, never too early to get a friend, hint, hint, a gift card to where they can experience Subway in all the seasons, whether it's a Flateza, whether it's, I believe they still have the regular pizzas as well, where they have the salad, 6-inch foot long, get the apples, get a milk, get a soda. Hey, shop local.
Yep.
Go
Coffee.
to Subway.
Coffee, too. Coffee is for closers only. And, you know, our buddy Keaton Brooks, speaking of bowling, tunes in on the regular. Remember what our bowling team was named, right?
ABC.
ABC. Always be BC closing. Always be closing.
You advanced the alphabet there, I think, a little quickly. And I was going to say coffee is also for sound engineers who apparently have a problem staying awake at 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Eleanor Haney. I don't know what's going on here, Eleanor. I thought you were Swellenor, but I'm not sure with this old Saturday Night Live bit.
That's a
Probably
great
didn't
bit.
see that. But
That's
I'll tell you, the bit
thank
that the
you.
Colonels are trying to get going here, hey, it might have been before your time, before your bedtime. Colonel's trying to really get some distance, and Lunenburg's just not having it. 23-20, late Nelson Dew's 3 with 2 seconds left, and that's where we stand.
Yeah, it's been a really good ball game, Bob. 4 ties, 5 if you count 0-0 where we started.
I do,
yeah. A couple lead changes. The Colonels won both quarters, but obviously by slim margins. They led 9-8 after 1. They lead by 3 here, so you can do the math. It was a 14-12 quarter for the Altavista Colonels. I don't think it was a terrible start for Coach Troy Harris and Coach Mike McGrath in his locker room, probably saying somewhat of the same thing. Now, let's inform fans if they haven't seen the Colonels yet this year, Bob. Third quarter has been owned by Altavista. I've been calling them the third quarter kings. I want to come up with a better nickname than that. Do you think the Colonels will have that same burst here coming out of the locker room? No reason to think they won't, I guess.
Yeah, I would agree with that. No reason to think they won't. But how many Monday third quarters have they had? Always tough to play the day after the weekend when you don't have, you sit around, maybe watch your fantasy football team, maybe take in the Miss Universe pageant, and then you think it's a different day altogether. It's never too soon for Miss Universe reference. And, hey, I love Steve Harvey. That's an overcomable mistake.
I do, too.
If we talked about every time we made a mistake, It would be 24-hour radio with Bob and Kyle, a radio-thon,
Yes.
so to speak.
A shout out to my dear friend Brandy Bell, who not listening on the radio, but listening right now in front of us. They come down, they come to the games. They've got great energy in the gym. Brandy
Queen of
is
the three-footers, 3 feet away from us right now.
3 foot away. Brandy Bell, another one of those three-sport athletes, I might also point out to you, Bob Alvis, and a very good one at that. We are going to have her on at halftime at some time, but just not today, Brandy. She is really staring a hole through my chest right now. It looks could kill.
I'm feeling the burn from here, to be honest with you.
It is deep. Let's get it back on the rails with a timeout. It'll give us a chance to collect our thoughts and give you a chance to grab yourself a coffee or a sip of something to drink. Buckle up. Subway halftime show's only halfway over. Colonels lead by 3. You're hearing all the action live on 105.5 KD Country.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Virginia are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Brought to you by English Construction Company, with offices in Lynchburg.
It's cold in here. Will your heating system keep you warm this winter, or will you spend a cold evening shivering under the covers? Have your heating system inspected today by Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling. Kent Tyree has over 20 years experience and specializes in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Licensed and bonded. Call for an appointment today. 309-2266. 309-2266. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling.
This is 100% convenient mobile banking with local First National Bank.
With our FirstNet mobile app, you can securely check balances, make deposits, pay bills, transfer money, and much more.
It's easy to use, and we even have a video demo on our website at firstnetbk.com.
And it's free, so search FirstNet mobile app and download it for free today.
Remember, banking from anywhere, anytime will help you bring home more bacon.
First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It's a good show, man.
Man, that was awesome.
Loud crowd. All house salad time.
I'll bring it on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're going to have to do the encore tonight, buddy.
No, they want to see your face.
They're chanting your name.
Not it, man. They're saying Brett.
Well, I'm taking this with me.
No. I'll hold it for you.
Seriously, don't touch my salad.
Time for my encore now, son.
The house salad. Grilled chicken atop mixed greens, cucumbers, Roma tomatoes, cheddar and jack cheeses, and fried onions. Served with Texas toast. Zaxby's, indescribably good.
Zaxby's, Wards Ferry Road, Lynchburg.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Oh, it's so much fun on the Subway halftime show. Kyle and Bob here with you. Eleanor back at home base, and who knows what might appear. Everybody wants to join the party. It seems like, well, not everybody, but a lot of everybody's. And everybody who's anybody's probably tuned in. I guess everybody wants to be somebody. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, your fellow golf buddy. You got to get out on the links with Scott Wilson.
Oh, gosh.
Listen,
Yes,
he said legendary question marks. I could say the same about his golf game.
Yeah.
Houses.
Yeah.
Getting it going early. Got his thing. Scott, always a good friend to us both, is often trivia partner.
Yes.
With us both as well.
He's a Redskins and a Hokies fan. Lately, that hasn't been the best combination. He's had some trouble.
Redskins and
No, I was just going to say that. You didn't give me a chance. And as Kirk Cousins would say, you like that.
Right. Well, he's not pulling the Hokies Carolina thing, which several people do. I'm not going to mention names.
Not going to mention.
I'm not going to mention names.
Agent Zero may or may not be tuned in down there at Surfside Beach. He's Everybody's vacationing in these sunny tropical places, Bob, and you and I are stuck here. Although the temperature's not bad outside, it's just the rain.
Before we get to the points, I actually did spill some sand on the floor and turn the lights on higher to make it feel like a tropical vacation with some bright sun here.
Exactly.
Let's go over some numbers real quick to end this chicanery here on the Subway halftime show. Nelson Dews, 10 points, leading all scorers. Daquan Poindexter with 6. Lawrence Galliard has 3, and Mateo Malbec with 4. On the other side for the Chargers, 8 points from Jeremiah Davis, 2 apiece from Tyleek Thomas, and 2 from Brandon Scott. L.J. Watson, a quiet 5, and Daryl Jones with 3. Gets emotional.
Bob he loves good basketball, folks.
I love
loves
stats.
Being out here. He does. That guy, Bob. Let's talk about that later. I was going to mention something about one of your WSET colleagues, but we may be out of time here on the Subway halftime show. In fact, I know we're out of time. Central Lunenburg on the court, ready to play some defense. Colonels will start the half with it. Coach Harris had guys in the locker room for a little while. They didn't get many shots up.
We mentioned Lunenburg tomorrow will be in the early game against a county neighbor, the Brookville Bees. Kim Woodford came over here to me in between and said, out of those 3 guys that played basketball in Honduras, I'm the only one that was playing defense, talking about him, Coach Jester and Coach Glaze, when we referenced that a few weeks ago. So always good to see other schools and, just kind of like family reunions all over the place.
Absolutely. One of the things we love about the Jeff Cocke Memorial Invitational.
Colonel's coming towards us now.
Yeah, Colonel's moving left to right from our perspective, or north to south. Bob and I down here in what I call the south end zone. Ballback's going to try a 3, in and out, no good. Here's Galliard on the rebound and a stick back for 2. Early points for the Colonels. Here we go. Third quarter starting already, Bob. Cameron Hughes has a steal.
I thought the ball was...
Your friends at Feller Chevrolet wish to join you and your family on this festive occasion that is Christmas. It's Feller's desire that you and your loved ones enjoy a blessed holiday, and that all be filled with the realization of the magnitude of the greatest of all days. Brought to you by Feller Chevrolet, Main Street, Altavista. Closed December 24th and 25th for Christmas, and Friday, January 1st.
Feller Chevrolet
in Altavista.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
All right, we're back. I think our technology just can't handle the third quarter when things get dicey is what it is, Bob. Colonels lead by 5. Galliard's going to try a first free throw with 7:02 remaining as we say hello and send a shout-out to our dear friend Kenny Hunt there.
Again, not listening, but 5 feet away from us.
Kenny Jr. might be listening.
Yeah, he might be.
He was in the gym the other night.
Galliard at the stripe hits the second, and the Colonels push the lead to 6.
7 minutes even remaining in the English's Your Complete Home Center third quarter. I mentioned I was going to remedy some technical difficulties.
You're like the mad scientist. Smoke coming out. I'm afraid the fire alarm might go off here in a few minutes.
I can create Frankenstein's monster.
Galliard picks up the loose ball, and then we're going to go the other way as the foul against Lunenburg. Believe it's going to go up against number 33, Raymond Alexander. And Mr. Howard did flash the numbers. I'll tell you, Trey is wild on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Third for Alexander. 6:41 to go here in the third quarter.
And Alexander sports number 33. Colonel's going to run a set play here against this zone from Lunenburg. Looks like they overload that left side. Coach Harris pointing out some spots. Nelson Dews doing the same thing. They throw it in far post to Josh McClure. Up and under move. Off the backboard, then the side of the rim won't fall. Rebound by Alexander, and then almost poked away by Malbeck. Yeah, it was. Last touch off of a Lunenburg defender.
Again, you've got to remember Lunenburg also amassed more fouls than they did points in the first part of the game, too, as they got like 2 or 3 fouls before being able to score 2 or 3 points, as Dews will control the basketball. Nelson looking for somewhere to go, goes back over to Hughes. Swung into the corner to Mateo. Mateo inside to Galliard. Galliard puts it up, won't go off front iron, but McClure's there for the stick back. Colonels lead by 8, and they're on a run.
Nice dip in by the Colonels. They always go on a run in the third quarter, Bob. They led at halftime by 3. 5:50 left to play in the third. Let's see if they can keep it going. They forced a turnover there, just an errant pass from Darrell Jones, and Coach Mike McGrath has seen enough. He wants to take a 30-second timeout. We'll take it with him. Colonels lead 28-20 on 105.5 KD Country.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
I don't know what it is about these third quarters. Coach Harris and I have talked about it the last couple interviews in the Subway pregame show. It's certainly some adjustments at halftime is part of it, and then the energy level picks up. But it's hard to put the finger on all of what happens here for Altavista. Zone defense again for Lunenburg. Looks like the old 2-3, Bob.
Coach Harris have a superstition about 3? I mean, I know he doesn't have 3 kids, or he's not on his 3rd marriage. I mean, so no superstition.
Not the 3rd season or the 3rd coaching stint or any
I think
of that.
he's only got 1 sibling, so
Right.
he doesn't have 3 in the family.
Right. Traveling violation there by Lawrence Galliard in the paint. So the
3
Cardinals. 3-dog night. Second 3-dog night reference of the evening. Gotta love that.
Shambhala.
Nelson Dews has got a steal. Colonel's defense always seems to pick up. They got his turnover here. Nelly just going to check out the defense. Swings it between the circles to Malbeck. Overhead pass, left sideline to Hughes. He got it down low along the baseline to McClure, who couldn't score. Now he's got a steal. Shovels it back to Nelly. Nelly no look to Galliard, and Lawrence Galliard is fouled, and he will go to the free throw line again. It's not quite the same burst we've been used to in the 3rd quarter or the textbook stuff, but Colonel's certainly outplaying Lunenburg right now.
Speaking of 3, team foul number 3. But not speaking of 3 is 4.
Yeah.
Raymond Alexander's 4th personal.
Alexander is a quality post player for Lunenburg. He's going to have to sit out right now. Mike McGrath will send in Tyleek Thomas for him.
You know one thing about 3, though. It's not the loneliest number. Galliard at the stripe.
Boy.
I got to keep you
That's
loose.
Another
I got to keep you loose.
3-dog night reference, folks. And, of course, one of their members passed away a few months ago, so it's fitting.
Are there tribute bands going on around? Every rock group has a tribute band, don't they?
Not. Referees discussing a few things with Coach Mike McGrath over there on the far
They were
sideline.
telling Robert that, hey, I stopped at Subway. It was pretty good as well. 2 locations in Altavista.
Free throw no good from Galliard, but McClure's got the stick back. That one won't go. He tried to shoot it high off the window. L.J. Watson in a hurry down the far sideline. Now he'll angle to his left. It's over to Jeremiah Davis on the left side. Back to Watson between the circles. Colonels lead by 8. 4:45 left to play in the 3rd. Man-to-man defense for Altavista. They haven't used the zone yet tonight. Don't think they used it against Prince Edward. Maybe for like a possession. Timeout by Mike McGrath. He sensed that Watson was in trouble, wanted to save the basketball. Let's take it with him. 28-20, 4:37 left to play in the 3rd. Colonels on top on 105.5 KD Country.
A full line of men's Carhartt clothing has just arrived in English's The Complete Home Center. Carhartt, known for its rugged durability, making it great for work and play. English's carries coveralls, bibs, shirts, pants, and hats in sizes up to 4X and special orders available. Hunting season is here. The holidays right around the corner. So shop English's for all your Carhartt clothing at 1522 North Main Street, Altavista. Open Monday through Friday, 7 to 5, Saturday, 8 to 1.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Back here live from Altavista High School. Colonel's 3rd quarter sensation. It's carrying on again tonight here, 28-20, as they lead Central Lunenburg. 23-20 at half, but really Nelson Deuce's 3 came with 4 seconds left, so really maybe I don't know if it's a last 5 seconds can carry over into the 3rd quarter. Well, I don't remember how many buzzer beaters they've had headed in or scoring on that last possession.
Yeah. Well, they had a buzzer beater Friday night,
Right.
of course, to win. But, no, your point is valid. And I do think they carried some momentum over, don't you? I mean, it certainly hasn't hurt them. But, again, 3rd quarter has been owned by the Colonels all year. So I don't know how much the 2nd quarter has to do with it. 28-20, Altavista on top 8. Basketball battle on Bedford Avenue. Shake and bake move by L.J. Watson. Line drive 3 won't fall. It's recovered by Cameron Hughes. Colonel's going the other way. 2-on-3. Altavista, no numbers. Malbeck gives Watson the shoulder. And Mateo is fouled. Watson, I believe it's his 2nd or 3rd. L.J. Watson and Mateo Malbeck share some stories. I doubt they're talking about 3-dog night like we are. But
that's not why Mateo wears 3? As a tribute?
Second foul on L.J. Watson, who also wears number 3. It's getting strange in here. The threes have it. In the 3rd quarter, Hughes is fouled. He came in from the right baseline, sort of caught it about 5 feet in front of Bob and I in the right corner.
Team foul number 5. You know who got me turned on to 3-dog night?
Randy Newman. He wrote a couple
Harry
of
Alvis.
songs. Harry Alvis.
My dad.
Oh, yes.
And he was a 3rd. So this is
scary.
We got to stop now.
This is scary.
Only going to be 2 shots at the free throw line for Cameron.
Unless there's a violation. First one off the front of the iron, then the backboard, and won't fall. 4:05 left to play in the 3rd. Colonel sporting the home white jerseys with the orange trim on the floor right now for Altavista. McClure, Galliard, Hughes, Malback, and Dews. Second one on the way from Cameron Hughes was a little short. Rebounded by Mateo Malback. Malback quickly to the rim, won't go. This rebound's still loose. About 8 guys in the paint, and Nelson Dews came out of it with it. No looks over to Malback. Right corner. Mateo cut off, looking for space. I thought he kept his pivot foot, but the officials say otherwise. Walked over here 5 feet outside the paint. That's turnover.
You know, you've seen all the Altavista games this year. I've seen a handful and saw a lot of girls' games this past weekend at Eastie Glass. And what impresses me about December basketball, everybody's playing hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not for lack of effort that anybody has lost a game that I've seen.
Yeah, that's 100% right. Colonel's energy level has been great all year, and it bears repeating. It's been extra special in the third quarters all year. Watson in trouble. He was able to fling it over to Jeremiah Davis. Davis now driving, cut off. Turnaround Jay is good off the backboard. Jeremiah Davis, I don't think it was what he had planned when he started driving. He got cut off about a foot outside the left edge of the paint, stopped, turned around, then just sort of pushed it up to the backboard, and it went down. And a chance for a three-point play, 28-22. It's off the side of the iron, no good. Rebound recovered. Jeremiah Davis has got the second chance. That one's up, and it won't go. So here's a return burst of energy by Central Lunenburg to match Altavista. Jeremiah Davis will shoot 2 on this trip.
Foul against Galliard, his second. Team foul number 3 for the Colonels.
3:20. Great minds think alike. Free throw goes in for Jeremiah Davis, a senior, number 35 for Central Lunenburg.
You know what that means, right? It just means we've been around too long together.
It just
I
means
don't know if it's as much great mind. Speaking of another great mind, Dean Hubbard approaching the scoring table.
Wanted to come over and make sure everything was going okay. And our vantage point here, second free throw goes down for Jeremiah Davis. Colonel's lead gets trimmed to 4.
Well, I mean, no time better than now to start hitting free throws. If you're Lunenburg or Altavista, you never know when you'll need every point, as the Colonels found out in game 1 this year. Three-pointer by Mateo.
No good. Rebound batted out of bounds into the third row by Jeremiah Davis. Couldn't grab a hold of it. Yeah, free throws in the third quarter count the same as they do in the fourth. So I definitely agree with you about the free throws. They seem to become more important as the game wears on, though, for sure. Colonels are trying to spread out this zone defense a tad, get them to extend it. Nelson Dews with a couple dribbles. Now an overhead pass to Mateo Malback. Malback left corner to McClure. McClure driving, got stopped to the left edge of the paint. Kicks it out to Nelson Dews. Nelly, in and out, no good. There's a rebound by Raymond Alexander. He is fouled. Lawrence Galliard tried to grab it from around his waist and ended up committing a violation in the process. Chancellor Mormon going to check in the ball game for Cameron Hughes. Colonels lead by 4. Full court pressure about to be applied by Altavista.
Who's your favorite all-time Raymond in sports ever? Think about that and get back to me.
Okay. I will. Probably Ray Floyd.
Boom, boom.
Ray Boom Boom Mancini.
Yep.
Good call. 28-24. Colonels lead by 4. Here's L.J. Watson. Off-bounce floater won't fall. Nelson Dews got the rebound in a hurry. One-hand bounce pass up to Malback. Malback shot actually hit the bottom of the iron. Couldn't finish. Galliard just being mugged inside there. And somehow sends it towards the hoop, but not in. He'll go to the free throw line.
I think that went against Thomas. His first. Team 6th. So really Altavista is shooting from here on out, as they will have the 1-and-1 coming up next. Galliard's at the stripe for 2. Could be a lot of free throws.
Yeah. Excellent point for both ball clubs. Colonels have only committed 3 team fouls, so maybe I shouldn't say that as far as Lunenburg goes, although they've been doing a nice job getting to the free throw line. Galliard's second one up. Back iron, no good. Altavista battling for the rebound. I think they whistled Lawrence Galliard with a foul. Yeah, just overzealous trying to get it back.
And KH, you know my thing. Those first 6, those fouls need to be on the floor if you can at all help it.
Sure,
just so people.
Sure.
Now, obviously, you can't control everyone because some might be in the act of shooting. But now, at this point, if you're Lunenburg, again, fouls 7 through 9 are important to keep on the floor, not to give them a guaranteed 2.
Yeah, and then after 10, right, you're shooting 2 anyway, so it doesn't really matter. That's another valid point by you. Colonels lead by 4. They'll double team at the top of the key. Nearly got a steal, but Raymond Alexander grabbed it and fires a 17-footer from dead on is good. Probably not the shot Mike McGrath drew up, but he certainly liked it when it found the bottom of the bucket. Colonel's lead has been trimmed to 2, 28-26. Maybe the third quarter Dynamos are cooling off a little bit in the third quarter.
Mike McGrath's favorite Raymond right now, Raymond Alexander. And I'll tell you, playing with 4 fouls, and McClure was all in his face, too. There was nowhere for Alexander to go.
Yeah, that's a great point. Alexander very nicely there. McClure to the front of the iron from 5 feet, won't go. Rebound is still loose. Now it's grabbed. Jeremiah Davis going the other way. Ahead quickly to L.J. Watson. Colonels never got back, and we are tied. Altavista was just a little bit late getting back on defense. Central Lunenburg hustled down and got a 2-pointer there. We're tied 28-28, Bobby. Nelson Deuce fell to the floor momentarily, maintained the dribble. Coach Harris wants to call a timeout to save Nelly from the turnover and perhaps discuss things. Tie ball game. 28-28, 1:15 left to play in the third on 105.5 KD Country.
PCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this award-winning broadcast. PCM Industrial Maintenance and Construction Specialists providing welding, millwright, erection, and fabrication services to all forms of industry throughout the Mid-Atlantic region. From offices in Altavista, PCM Industrial Services wishes Coach Harris and the Altavista basketball team a safe and successful season. Go Colonels!
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Kid. I don't know if Three Dog Night had a version of that or not, but it would sound pretty good if they did. This version of Altavista Lunenburg going pretty well right now, 28-28 tie ball game. Going well for the fans, I should say. I'm sure both coaches would love to have about a 25-point lead at this juncture.
And you know me and the crowd. I'll tell you, Altavista, 6-man, not really making a lot of noise here tonight, and it hasn't been for a lack of Colonel's good plays, in my opinion.
Free ball on the way from Malbeck. Too strong, but McClure's got the rebound. Power move to the right side of the hoop. Second chance won't fall. Third chance won't fall. There's Jacob Adams with the steal. Saves it in again. Nice hustle play by Adams. Nelson Dews lost it from about 10 feet away. Might be 4 on Watson. Might be 4 on L.J. Watson. You're right. Did you catch the signal there? Nelson Dews is going to shoot a 1-and-1, by the way. Or is he shooting 2?
Shooting 1-and-1.
6 foul. Okay. Well, what about the hustle play by Jacob Adams? He saved it once when McClure got blocked. Then he had to save it again after another teammate lost it out of bounds. Adams ended up in about the second row in front of us.
Watson's going to take a breather, I believe. So is Alexander. I'll tell you, you got to like this move by Mike McGrath. I mentioned the fouls in the last minute. You hate to see somebody foul out in the last minute on a cheapo. So he'll pull Alexander and Watson. Might keep him out for the first couple minutes of the fourth, too, just to see where this game is at. Dews misses.
Rolls the first one right off the rim. Nelson not happy with that. Lunenburg going the other way quickly. No, they're not. Chancellor Mormon has a steal. Took it away right at the timeline. Mormon looking for some help with a left-hand dribble. Now flips it over left side to Nelson Dews. Back to the right point, and Mormon, him and Nelly playing pitch and catch. Left corner to McClure. Coach Harris urging his team to hold for the last shot here in this third quarter. We got 19 seconds left to play.
Lunenburg in a zone. Kind of looks like a 1-2-2 a little bit, but I don't know if it's a 3-2.
It looks like they're going to match up man-to-man now with 10 seconds left. Maybe staying in the zone. It's hard to tell. Malbeck starts to his right. Over to Nelson Dews left wing. 5 seconds. Malbeck, NBA range 3. Back iron, no good. Rebound is loose. Three-quarter court try, had the distance, but not online for Central Lunenburg. Now we've played 3 quarters, and we are tied 28-28. Do not miss this fourth quarter when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Hello, this is Jerry Motley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center. Asking everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Well, Bobo, I hope we did not jinx the Altavista Colonels about being the third quarter kings. A rare third quarter that they have lost. In fact, to my knowledge, my meticulous record keeping, as you know, They had not lost a third quarter coming into that one, and they were, in fact, outscored 5-8 in that third quarter. 28-28 right now, headed into the final 8 minutes of regulation.
Well, you know what could have probably helped them win the third quarter? The free throw line. 1 out of 9 in that third. That is no bueno.
Nope. And if you think about the free throws, the Colonels knocked down a few more against Brookville in game 1, possibly undefeated right now. Hard to put it all on just the free throw shooting. I mean, there's more to a basketball game than that.
The one thing you have that you can control as a player is the free throw.
Good point, McClure. Nice catch and a cut from the left edge of the paint, up and in. Colonels take the lead back, 30-28. We've had 6 ties in this ball game, Bob. 6.
Watson's back in, by the way.
Oh,
it
boy.
Makes the up and under as he hit that left block and threw it up, and it goes down.
Spectacular move. He came in from the right side, faked it over on that right side, then went up and under with the finish from the left side of the hoop. And the guts of a cat burglar to sneak through the Altavista defense like that, untouched. We're tied again, 30-30. Nelson Dews wants to change that. He does. Nelly rattles it home from the left wing for 3. Colonels with another lead.
But, like I said, Lunenburg has not shown the tendency to leave the building yet tonight.
Jeremiah Davis, NBA range 3, in and out, no good. Cameron Hughes has a rebound around the free throw line. Yep, that's 5 fouls on Raymond Alexander, who just would not give up the battle for that loose ball rebound with Cameron Hughes. Cameron had the ball in position. Probably a pretty easy call for the official there. Bad luck for Raymond Alexander. His night is going to end 7 minutes and 1 second early.
And the other bad news is you put the Colonels at the free throw line. Although if you look at the third quarter as a Lunenburg fan, maybe that's good news. It's a place where they've had trouble scoring.
Yeah, I don't want to play with fire, though. I mean, I don't want to give a team more chances to score without the clock moving. I mean, if you got a Shaquille O'Neal out there or somebody that's just dismal from the free throw line, that's one thing. But I don't think the Colonels having those guys miss won't go in. Daquan had to rebound momentarily. Jeremiah Davis stripped him of it. In transition, Davis over to Watson. Watson lost it a little too fast for Central Lunenburg there.
I'm not a big fan of the hack and shack, nor am I a big fan of the foul and the 3 before they can get it up, because then when you stop the clock and too much bad can happen, a bounce here or there, make them hit a high percentage shot or make them hit a low percentage shot, which is a three-pointer normally.
33-30, Colonels up 3. Nelson Dews splashed down from the left wing for 3 to give the Colonels this slim lead. 6.5 left to play. Maulback's going to try it now, just barely nicked the front of the iron. There's McClure on the rebound. The blue-collar man hustles it back to the rim for 2. 35-30, Colonels extend the lead with 6:24 left to play in the ball game.
Well, it's not a comedy tour, but blue-collar is really helping them out here in this second half, especially early on in the fourth.
Watson thinking about triggering a 3 from the left corner. Instead, he'll use the right dribble and circle the defense to the right.
Now, kind of give Watson that shot. He hasn't really shown the outside propensity tonight like he has the drive.
He tried one there. It was just off the mark. Rebounded nicely. Skied in the air. Daquan Poindexter to wipe it out of the atmosphere for the rebound. Nelson Dews, rhythm 3. Again, Nelson Dews with another one. 38-30.
Start your business on a winning note with an Altavista revolving loan. It's an opportunity to score big for your company's future growth. Funds available up to $10,000. Loan rate 1% below prime. Connect with Altavista's Economic Development Director, Dennis Jarvis II at Altavista Town Hall. Make your move today. The Altavista Revolving Loan Fund encourages economic development and enhances community vitality.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
3's the crowd. 3's been the magic number for the Colonels. Nelson Dews now has 3 fouls to go along with the back-to-back 3s that he's hit. Boy, that's a lot. We got to try and not do that again. 38-32. Davis sinks a couple free throws to cut back into the Colonel lead. They're up 6, Bobby.
But I think if you're the Colonels, we talked about the free throw blues here a little bit. I don't think you can get out of your mind, don't get back to the free throw line. McClure gets blocked.
Poindexter got stripped and lost the basketball. A couple Colonel fans wanted a foul. Tyleek Thomas skying to the hoop, off balance on the run. Couldn't get the shot to go, but L.J. Watson chases down the rebound at half court. Jeremiah Davis for 3. Dotting the I out there. Nelson Dews tried to close out. 38-35. Colonels lead back to 3. This is serious back and forth now, Bob. And you were right. Central Lunenburg refusing to quit. They are not going to get on the bus until all options have been exhausted, and they have fought to the final horn. Malbeck's going to hold the basketball. L.J. Watson's going to come out and make him do something. That was looking familiar. Looked like Friday night there for a minute. Colonel's playing pitch and catch around the perimeter.
Deja vu all over again.
Didn't you just say that? Bounce pass in the lane to McClure. Poindexter gets some body contact, then goes to the hoop. He's fouled. Poindexter's interesting. It's kind of a set shot. He never really got off the ground, but he'll go to the charity strike. With 4:33 remaining in the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter presented by English's, your complete home center. Home for Pella Storm Doors, Pratt & Lambert Paint, and, of course, Carhartt Apparel for men. Size large, Bob.
Free throw.
Christmas
Free
Friday.
throw goes down. I hear you. That's
Like
what I
Mr.
keep
Subliminal.
hearing. Poindexter 39-35.
I mentioned Poindexter's free throw number, 68% coming into the ball game. Colonel's at 57%. Feels like they're hovering right around that 50% mark, or maybe less after that 1 for 9 third quarter. Isn't that what you said? 1 for 9 in the third? Yeah. Probably less than 50%. That one won't go either.
1 for 9 is definitely less than 50.
Well, yeah. I was trying to consider the first half in there as well. Jeremiah Davis, pull up three. That time it's off the front of the iron. Long rebound tracked down by Detrell Barnes. Lunenburg has some fresh faces in there. We need to tell you about them in a second. Brandon Scott to the hoop for two. Colonel's defense just gave him a window, and he exploited it. 39-37. Altavista's lead back to 2.
I would say this is probably not the cleanest game the Colonels have had this year. And I'll tell you, for another mad scientist, Troy Harris, he's not a science teacher, but he's not going to be able to tinker in practice tomorrow. He might get a little jog through, a walk through, go through a few plays, but you cannot really ride the guys in the morning.
Right. You can communicate some things. You can address some things, but probably not going to be able to run full speed against the defense, a 5-on-5 type of situation. Colonel's having in the front court, just playing pitch and catch around the perimeter here, sort of a keep-away game right now against the Lunenburg zone defense. Altavista leads by 2.
And you can't let what happened in the early game tonight, make you think that Perry McClure is not a good team. They got soundly beat by Brookville, but you never know. Perry McClure could come in tomorrow thinking Super Bowl.
Daquan Poindexter fouled again. Poindexter's been doing a nice job here in the fourth quarter of getting to the rim.
Or any
getting close to the rim.
44 bowl games this year.
Whatever you don't go there.
Whatever you so choose.
We don't have time for that.
39-37. And again, the free throws become crucial at this point in the game.
I mean, even with a lead, there's the first one canned by Daquan Poindexter. Even with a lead, if you can just make half of them, if you can make one of every 2 down the stretch, that's really going to help.
And in a way, I could argue they're more important with the lead.
Yeah,
I mean, I know that sounds odd, but you want to keep it?
Second one goes in by Poindexter. Yes, I want to keep it. Was that a rhetorical question? 41-37. Sure. Colonel's lead by 4. Poindexter now has made 3 out of the last 4 from the free throw line. Davis lost the basketball. McClure stepped in there to take it away.
I was really on my A game when you said
Raymond Alexander's out on the court. Doesn't he have 5 fouls, Bob?
I had him with 5.
That foul must have been charged to somebody else.
Must have gone somewhere else.
Raymond Alexander's night is not done early. With 3:05, he's still out there. Pardon us, basketball fans. Mr. and Mrs. Basketball fan wants us to get it right, so we're going to try to get it right. 3 minutes now remaining in the ball game. Lunenburg trails by 4, down but certainly not out. This is Brandon Scott weaving his way outside the perimeter of the defense. L.J. Watson triggers the 3 from the corner, and it's good. Lunenburg trailing by 1 now. No quit in this Charger squad.
Well, it's called the Chargers, and they're charging back.
Nelson's going to try a 3 on the other end. That hit the side of the iron, then the backboard. Jeremiah Davis with a rebound, now behind the back dribble. Nelson tried to poke, check it away.
He's got 3.
You're right, playing with fire, got to be careful. He's guarding Jeremiah Davis right now. Davis surging to the bucket, now leaves it off. Mateo Malbeck's going to get whistled for a foul. He hit the deck trying to strip it away from Jeremiah Davis. 41-40, Lunenburg down 1. Colonels led by 8 at one point in the third. Altavista led by 3 at halftime. If you've joined us late, it's been like this all game. It's been back and forth. It's been fast-paced. It's been up and down. It's been some mistakes from both teams, sure, but a lot of excitement, no doubt. 2:17 left to play, Bob. We're almost at the 2-minute warning. Watson puts the forearm into Malbeck's chest to get a little bit of room. Now he gives it up. Barkin trying to get it back. They try to throw it down low, but McClure taps it away. Go ahead.
Lunenburg will be shooting free throws the rest of the way, too, after Altavista's next foul, which will be team foul number 7. And I'll tell you, I have been impressed by Mike McGrath's Chargers tonight.
Indeed. They play hard. They play smart. Play well together.
Watson.
Long two. It's good. Lead by Central Lunenburg. Wow. Our third lead change of the night, 42-41. Colonels trail for the first time since the second quarter. And we've got 150 left to play in this fourth quarter. 150 left to play in the opening night of Jeff Cocke Memorial Invitational. I'm Kyle. He's Bob. Do not change the dial for this last 1 minute and 40 seconds. Coach Harris has got 4 timeouts for Altavista. McClure's going to try a 3-ball. Corner, pocket, won't fall. Tapped out of bounds off of Jeremiah Davis. Crafty play there by Nelson Dews to sort of knock it off Davis, and then he sold it a little bit as well. 93 seconds left to play. Lunenburg has 3 timeouts at their disposal.
All fulls. The Colonels have a 30 and 3 fulls. You get 3 fulls and 2 30s in the high school game. Most coaches honestly burn through those 30s a lot quicker than they do the fulls.
Agreed. Poindexter, get it in bounds. Maulback got stripped away at the free throw line. Here's Brandon Scott in a hurry. One-hand bounce pass to L.J. Watson, and it went off Watson. He tried to throw it off Lawrence Galliard, but it then redirected and hit himself on the way out of bounds. 1:23 left to play. Colonels trail by 1.
Watson really pleaded his case, too, but not a successful legal practice right there. Full 1 minute timeout by Altavista.
Let's take it with them. Colonels trail by 1, 42-41. More fireworks in the last 1 minute and 20 seconds? You bet. Stay tuned to 105.5 KD Country.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in. Bring the family. See your friends at Highview Motors. Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
From coast to coast, border to border, and all the ships at sea, Colonel fans and basketball fans can hear us at kdcountry.com or with the TuneIn app. Colonels trail by 1, Mr. Bob Alvis. 1:20 left to play in the ball game. What you like here from Altavista? A bucket?
Yeah, I'd really like a bucket if I'm a Colonels fan. You really want to get a 2 right here. Maybe get, I hate to say, get to the foul line has not been a real key tonight, but I still think you want to get the ball towards the basket and make Central Lunenburg make a mistake.
Yeah, drive to the hoop, get close proximity to the bucket. Looks like Lunenburg's extended the zone defense out a little bit. One-hand bounce pass in the right corner. It goes to Daquan Poindexter.
I can't imagine Altavista will hold for 1.
Colonels look quick. They throw it into Lawrence Galliard. Galliard for 2, and it's good. Lawrence Galliard from right in front of the 10. Nice ball movement by Altavista to exploit the Lunenburg defense that they kind of drew out a little bit towards the perimeter. We're under 1 minute to play. Let's see if the Colonels can dig in and get a defensive stop. They do. Nelson Dews with it.
KCD Maintenance. Kenny can do it. If you've got a home or business maintenance issue, Kenny can do it. Call 665-1333. That's 665-1333 for KCD Maintenance. Painting, building maintenance, minor construction, and more. Kenny can do it. Call 665-1333. Again, that's 665-1333. KCD Maintenance.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Pardon me, we return from Altavista High School. Fighting through the technical demons again. Colonels lead by 1. They had the big steal and then the run out that led to a layup by Nelson Dews to put them up 5. Central Lunenburg didn't waste any time wallowing in their own misery. They raced down and got a quick 2 from Jeremiah Davis. Same situation, Bob. Colonels up 1. 45-44, 37.9 seconds remaining in the ball game. The pep band is loud, trying to get the crowd on their feet.
Well, if you're the Chargers, you can foul anytime you want. The Colonels are going to be shooting 2 the rest of the way. I don't think a backcourt foul. Like I said, if you're Central Lunenburg, I don't think Altavista's been what's the word I'm looking for? Hustling you.
Oh, long pass goes into Nelson Dews.
Now they're going to have to foul. It looks like Altavista's going to suck the air out of it.
Looks like maybe they're trying to play defense. No, L.J. Watson does try to get the hand in the cookie jar, and he is whistled for the foul. That should be his fifth foul. We're right on this one, right?
Yep.
You're wrong on Raymond Alexander.
I saw the scorekeeper's hand go up.
45-44. Colonels lead by 1. 1 Nelson Dews free throw here would be big. 2 Nelson Dews free throws would be huge. Certainly you.
But even 2 doesn't get you out of the woods.
No, it doesn't completely get you out of the woods. You're absolutely right. Tight ball game here between Altavista and Lunenburg. 4 lead changes. 7 ties. It was a 3-point Colonel lead at the end of the half, a tie ball game at the end of the third. 32.6 seconds left. Nelson Dews has been the hero as of late. Knocks down the first free throw. Great rhythm, great release, great rotation. 46-44. See if Nelly can make the second one. Nelson, 74% coming in from the free throw line. 30% from beyond the arc. That one rattles around and won't fall home. Colonels lead by 2. 30 seconds left to play. Lunenburg in a hurry. Brandon Scott's going to take on the whole defense and throw up a wild shot. Mike McGrath did not like seeing that, and he's going to call another timeout. Oh. Let's take it with him. This is a 60-second timeout. We'll take 30 of it. Colonels lead by 2. 24.1 seconds remaining in the fourth on 105.5 KD Country.
Christmas in other climates may be different as far as the weather's concerned, but the spirit of Christmas knows no barriers. So from El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, here's a toast to Christmas. May the ideal of our holiday enwrap the world in kindness, goodwill, and sincere reverence. Feliz Navidad from everyone at El Cazador Restaurant in Altavista. Thank you for your patronage throughout the year. Closed December 24th and 25th, open January 1st.
Feliz Navidad.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Appreciate you sticking with us and working through our technical difficulties. Bob and I have technical difficulties, and even when things are going perfect.
I call it light. Is that what that's called? And Lunenburg's going to have the basketball underneath. 24.1 ticks to go. And they trail by 2.
I'm going to say this about Altavista, Bob. They've been in a lot of close games this year. They lost to Brookville by 6 in the first game. Of course, the buzzer beater against Prince Edward. They also beat Brookville by 3. Beat Rustburg by 8. That was a game that was, still in that last minute was still up for grabs. Colonels, Lunenburg inbounding under their own scoring bucket with 24 seconds left. Mike McGrath probably got a play drawn up, and a long ball from Brandon Scott was not it. I mean, that was a 30-footer. That was beyond NBA range. Colonel's got a nice rebound to grab it. I believe it was Tyleek Thomas on the 3. Pardon me. Malback was fouled as he got into the front court. He'll shoot 2. Double bonus situation for Altavista here with 16.2 seconds left. Mateo Malback.
Now if you make 2, it makes it a 2-possession game.
You feel real comfortable. You just make sure you don't foul on a 3-pointer, and it's
I don't know that I'd say real comfortable, but
makes it a lot more comfortable than a 3-point lead.
Yeah.
First one good from Mateo Malback. 47-44.
There's enough time where you can still get 2 scores.
Yep. Second one good from Mateo Malback. Nice calmness under pressure from number 3. Another 3. Mateo Malback.
Coach Harris calls a 30.
Let's keep it here. We got into this one a little late just now, Bob. A shout out to the fantastic athletic director, Dean Hubbard, here at Altavista. He always does a great job for this Jeff Cocke Memorial Invitational. Let's talk about Mr. Jeff Cocke for a second here, Bob, as we don't have much time left in the ball game, but a big Colonel fan, big in the Altavista Fire Department, passed away 5-6 years ago?
Has it been that long?
Yeah, maybe.
Wow,
I'm not sure.
I'll tell you, I remember the first time I met Jeff Cocke, and he was down on the sidelines with Robert Duff when I started with KDE doing stats and my sideline reporting. And I remember we always would wear shorts, and I would say to him one night, "Why are you not wearing shorts?" He's like, "My wife wouldn't let me out of the house tonight if I had shorts on." So I kind of used that line down the road. And
right. And
funny guy.
We'll have to get back to that in a second. Lunenburg's got the ball. They're going to try another long 3-pointer. This one was 35 feet.
That was beyond
grabs
Steph Curry.
the rebound. Yeah, I mean that was 5 feet from the half-court stripe. It looked like. That time it was number 10, Darrell Jones, that tried the long-distance call. Nelson Dews did a nice job to grab the rebound. And I'll tell you this, it nearly went down, Bob. It had plenty of distance. I suppose when you only have 13 seconds left, well, maybe that's the thing to try. We've got 6.7 seconds left now. Lawrence Galliard's going to shoot 2 free throws that will officially ice it away for the Colonels if he can make it.
I think the thing is, if you're Lunenburg and you look at this game, listen to this game, replay it in your mind, you're going to learn.
Sure.
It's a learning experience. And like I said, champions that maybe are not made in December, but learning experiences can be, as Galliard rims down the second, and the Colonels are going to get out of here on night 1 with a victory.
Yeah, that puts the Colonels up 5. Long 3-ball attempt from Lunenburg won't go. There's the final horn. A nice win for Altavista, where they really, really had to battle. Probably didn't have their A game, but they got a W, 49-44. Subway post-game show on the way when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
You're listening to Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country, WKDE Altavista, Lynchburg.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Virginia high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too.
Brought to you by English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
It's cold in here. Will your heating system keep you warm this winter, or will you spend a cold evening shivering under the covers? Have your heating system inspected today by Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling. Kent Tyree has over 20 years experience and specializes in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Licensed and bonded. Call for an appointment today. 309-2266. 309-2266. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling.
Hey guys, this is Terrell Sound with Best Bet Motor Sales. May the splendor of the Christmas season be yours now through the new year. Best Bet Motor Sales sends the joy of the season and the spirit of Christmas to you and your family this holiday. Best Bet Motor Sales, 29 South of Lynchburg, appreciates the opportunity to serve you throughout this past year, and we look forward to serving you in the new year and beyond. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. It's a wonderful time of year to celebrate faith, family, and traditions. And remember, guys, Best Bet Motor Sales, 29 South. Merry Christmas to everyone.
Zaxby's, Wards Ferry Road, Lynchburg.
Man, that house salad looks good.
Dude, it's so good.
How about one bite for the road?
No.
Sharing is caring.
No. You can't have any of my salad, bro.
Wait, I got it right here.
I got $20 in a dream, yeah.
Well, that's a hit right there, dude.
Thank you.
Thanks, dude.
The house salad. Grilled chicken atop mixed greens, cucumbers, Roma tomatoes, cheddar and jack cheeses, and fried onions. Served with Texas toast. Zaxby's, indescribably good.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway postgame show has arrived from Altavista High School. The Colonels get a win, 49-44 over the Lunenburg Chargers. A hard-fought battle, a game that saw 7 ties, 4 lead changes. Chargers would never quit, never give up, and the Colonels seemed to answer the call every time they needed to. Not textbook basketball by any means. Troy Harris, I'm sure, would agree with that. And he's got some head scratching than he did in this ball game, but a nice win for Altavista, I think, to get a home victory on a Monday after a Sunday of no practice, and then a big emotional roller coaster Friday night with the buzzer beater. So all in all, this was a pretty good win. Bob Alvis has stepped out to confirm some post-game statistics. We'll let him do that. While he does, let me tell you about online ordering with Subway and the Subway app. You put your order in. It's ready in about 15 or 20 minutes. You slide on down to Subway. You pick it up. Perfect for people that are on the go like Bob and myself. And all you Colonel fans we know stay busy out there. And, of course, Mr. and Mrs. Basketball fan is always busy. So get online ordering in the Subway app with Subway. Go to Subway.com. That is available at most participating locations. I know all the Altavista Subways participate. Not positive about the Subways out there in Lunenburg, out in that region, Keysville, Richmond, all those places. But I'm pretty sure they're in on it, too. We'll take a quick timeout and let Bob get back in the air chair here. Flying high on the Subway postgame show. Colonels win over Lunenburg. You heard it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
Your friends at Feller Chevrolet wish to join you and your family on this festive occasion that is Christmas. It's Feller's desire that you and your loved ones enjoy a blessed holiday, and that all be filled with the realization of the magnitude of the greatest of all days. Brought to you by Feller Chevrolet, Main Street, Altavista. Closed December 24th and 25th for Christmas, and Friday, January 1st.
Feller Chevrolet
in Altavista.
Is there a painting project on your to-do list? English's Home Center has added an additional line of paints. English's features Pratt & Lambert Lifetime Warranty Red Seal exterior paints. Choose from hundreds of stunning, beautiful designer colors. Pratt & Lambert interior or exterior paints. Value price to save you money. Pratt & Lambert paints. Never compromise.
English's is your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista.
PCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this award-winning broadcast. PCM Industrial Maintenance and Construction Specialists providing welding, millwright, erection, and fabrication services to all forms of industry throughout the Mid-Atlantic region. From offices in Altavista, PCM Industrial Services wishes Coach Harris and the Altavista basketball team a safe and successful season. Go Colonels!
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
The best, Bob Alvis, I swear. Subway postgame show. And a shout-out to another guy who is a master of karate and friendship, Charlie Kelly, tuned in the Philadelphia area. I think it's South Philly area, Bob. Charlie's a big basketball fan. He likes to listen on the TuneIn app with the gang up there, D. Reynolds and the gang. And what else we got, man? We got to talk some hoops. This was a great ball game. It was back and forth to start. Each team using the three-point shot to their advantage. Neither team was really perfect on the offense. Well, let's face it, you're never going to be perfect on the offensive end in a basketball game. So I don't think each team is going to get high marks on their offensive grade from their respective head coaches. Coach Troy Harris wants to sit down and chat with us, I think. Yes, come on, Coach
I've got
Harris.
stuff to do.
Bob Alvis is going to total up the score totals. As former Lady Colonel star Kayla Lee looks on, wondering what in the world is going on back there on this radio broadcast, we welcome to the party Mr. Troy Harris. Coach Harris, we were just commenting that neither coach was probably going to give their offense high marks, but I will say you had to take some positives away with the way your team battled and responded to the challenges out there against Lunenburg.
I mean, we're pretty good in close games. We defend pretty well. We force turnovers. For whatever reason, the shooting gods are not with us right now. We can't seem to hit a shot. We're wide open, and we're clanging them off the rim. I'm not sure, because we get the gun out, we shoot on it constantly, and it just doesn't fall. Free throws either. We spend 30 minutes a day probably practicing free throws, and they don't seem to fall when people are paying to see us. So I'm not sure. We'll figure it out one way or another, though.
Well, it's a quick turnaround, too. Do you like that, or would you rather have some practice time to iron out some of these kinks?
Well, it's good. We get to forget about tonight, move on somewhere else. We will shoot around in the morning for an hour or so and get a ton of shots up and go over what Perry McClure does. We got to scout them tonight, play them tomorrow night. So we'll get a little practicing in the morning, but I think the quick turnaround might be good for us.
One final thought before I let you go. Any guys individually stand out? I know you've got the team mentality, but anybody just come to the top of your mind there as far as you really like what they did tonight?
Well, I really think Daquan saved us on the free throw line. I think he was one of the ones that actually hit a bunch. So he saved us. He got in foul trouble early, didn't get to play, told him to keep his head up. Hit a bunch of free throws for us. He was one that actually hit most of them. I say him, and Nelson hit a couple big threes for us in the first half, ran a play against his own. And he got us out of a hole, hitting a few threes. So I say those two were probably the two that come to mind right off the top of my head.
Coach, great stuff. I know it wasn't textbook, but you got to win. You got out of Dodge, and you get to do it all again tomorrow. We'll talk to you on the Subway pregame show. That's Troy Harris, head coach of the Altavista Colonels. His squad moves to 6-1 on the season. And big thanks to Coach Harris for stopping by. One of the benefits to us being on the floor courtside here at Altavista, Bob, but unfortunately, just as a side note, I think we're going to have to go up in the press box tomorrow night because the technological bugaboos are causing us some problems down here courtside. But it's always a work in progress. I mean, what isn't a work in progress, right?
Yeah, and we got some thing. I want to talk about one thing that Troy Harris said real quick. I believe he said we can't hit free throws when people pay to see us.
Yeah.
Let everybody hit free. Free night at the basketball game.
I have a feeling that Dean Hubbard, the athletic director, might not approve of that strategy. I don't know. VHSL might even have some rule that you have to charge
We'll get to
people.
that in a minute. Sure. 15 of 32, though, from the sky tonight. That's
so just under 50%.
Yeah, that's not too good. Before we get over to our final numbers, Kyle and I want to say goodbye to one of our friends who is leaving the area, Mr. Justin Feldkamp, ABC 13 weekend sports anchor, co-host of Full Court Press and Football Friday. My boss in the high school football season. I'll tell you, you talk about a guy. Some guys I think just want to get out there and get through the night. Mr. Feldkamp wanted to throw a perfect game every night, especially on Football Friday season. I wasn't there the other times, but I'm sure he was in game mode then as well. But Football Friday, really got to give Justin a lot of credit. He and Dennis do a great job on that, and the hours working behind the scenes. And I'm going to keep this to Justin right now, unmatched, and just the amount of work. Good trivia player as well. So a lot of good things to say about Justin. He's going to Toledo, and I'll tell you, I think Toledo's getting a steal because no harder work ethic than that guy. He's very meticulous, very organized, and he's going to make Toledo a very good station up there.
Yeah, he's an Ohio guy, so he's returning closer to home. And I'll tell you this, we know him on a personal level and know what a great guy he is, but Colonel fans over the years have really gotten to know Justin Feldkamp because Altavista's been in the playoffs so much in basketball and football that he's been down here a lot covering them, so Colonel fans have got to see him a lot in the gym, on the gridiron, and, of course, on TV. And you're right, Justin will be missed. I'm sure he'll always have one eye on this area athletically and personally with all the connections he has made. Let's steal another timeout away here. Then we'll bring it back with the post-game stats, the Radio Shack player of the game, and Bob and I will ride off into the sunset. Colonels rode off down the dusty trail with a 5-point win over the Central Lunenburg Chargers. You got to hear the action on 105.5 KD Country.
This broadcast is brought to you by the KD Country Sports Club.
It's Chef's Drive-In, keeping drive-ins alive with hometown pride and service.
One Stop Mart, where the gas is cheap, the beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking.
El Cerrito Altavista. Throw on a sombrero. Shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time.
Altavista Medical and Oncology Massage Therapy at Broad Street can relieve your pain.
Vista Food, Altavista, your hometown grocery with the freshest produce and the best meats.
McDonald's in Altavista, committed to the community and now serving breakfast all day.
KD Country Basketball Broadcast, brought to you by members of the Altavista Sports Club.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway postgame show returns, and we return with a very, that's a lot of berries in there, Bob. Was it 3? Did that go along with the 3-dog night theme?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. A very, very special shout-out to part of the Subway family, part of the Colonel family, part of our family, the one and only Carter Duff. Not Scooter this time around. This is Carter Duff celebrating a 13th birthday today. Good going, Carter. Give Robert and Scooter a hard time, will you?
Yeah, make sure you get a few bonus presents because it's always tough having that birthday around Christmas time. My youngest daughter has hers after Christmas,
29?
5 days, 30th.
Right? 30.
But, yeah, it's tough. So And one of our other good friends gave us high marks tonight. Anytime Terry Brown gives you high marks for the broadcast, you know you're doing a good job. So he commented, so I wanted to give him a shout-out as well. I'm going to shout out some point totals now, Kyle, but I'm not going to yell them out. For Altavista, they were led by Nelson Dews. He had 19, pardon me. 6 points from Mateo Malbec, 9 from Daquan Poindexter, 9 from Lawrence Galliard, and 6 from Josh McClure. On the other side, Jeremiah Davis led Lunenburg with 17. L.J. Watson had 14. 6 points from Brandon Scott, 4 points from Tyleek Thomas, 3 points from Daryl Jones. Central Lunenburg, 9 of 13 from the free throw line. Colonels, 15 of 32. Not going to cut it most nights. So, can I roll into players of the game?
Well, briefly before you do, Justin Feldkamp heard our kind words that we said about him. He said they were unnecessary, but kind. And Carter Duff shares a birthday with, there were some good birthdays today. Josh Gibson, former baseball player. You know, Josh Gibson was so good that some people called Babe Ruth the white Josh Gibson.
I was thinking of, like, did he go to JF or something?
Oh, no. The baseball, like 800 and some home runs professionally for Josh Gibson. Now, those teams back in the day were doing some barnstorming and some of that stuff.
Right.
But still, if you're getting it over the fence, I don't know how I guess I was just thinking about baseball. Justin Feldkamp, big Reds fan, big baseball fan. Josh Gibson obviously did not play for the Reds. But, maybe a famous Reds player has a birthday today.
You know, the more
we're
shouting out to people, too, the more we're having to, like, step up the game, and we can't slack. So
Yeah, true. You can't just say hello to so-and-so.
Right, yeah, definitely we can't.
Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Yeah, you got to have like a
Sheboygan's
story.
very nice this time of year. The other birthday today of baseball note for Mr. Feldkamp, Joaquin Andahar. He passed away, I believe, this year or last year. I believe it was this year, but he won 20 games with the Cardinals in back-to-back seasons, a feat no other pitcher has duplicated in St. Louis. Chris Glaze would probably like that, too, the Brookville baseball coach, assistant basketball. If he was listening, before we get, just run out of town, players of the game, Kyle, I got to go first.
We got to get it back on the rails at some point.
For Central Lunenburg.
Chancellor Mormon and the gang. Hanging out, stopping by, Addison Mormon. The whole family's joining the party now.
Are you going over for Christmas?
Do we have to give Chancellor player of the game now? Is that why he came over? Was he trying to politic for that? Did he have a vote for Chancellor Button or something?
Don't forget, Liberty tomorrow night. We'll keep our eye on that.
Yes, we are going to have updates on the Lady Colonel's action tomorrow night. Bob, I'm sorry. Back on the rails. Radio Shack player of the game.
Jeremiah Davis, like I said. Man was a bullfrog. Not necessarily a good friend of mine yet. And I can't go with the next line because I don't know how appropriate it is for high school broadcasting. But I thought Jeremiah Davis played a great game. Scored in all 4 quarters, the only Charger to do that. And I thought he was solid around the paint. I thought he played a, good inside-outside game. So that's my pick for the Chargers, Kyle Haney.
I got to be honest with you, Bobby. I second that emotion. Special props to LJ.
Night song.
They did a cover of it. It's on a live album from the Salem Civic Center, 1979. Dave Haney and Elizabeth Haney, I'm told, saw Three Dog Night at some point in concert. Yes, I will second that. Jeremiah Davis, special props to Raymond Alexander and L.J. Watson, like their games, but got to go with Jeremiah Davis. On the other side, for the Colonels, this is a little bit tougher. Would you like to pick first?
No, I'd like for you to.
Oh, you need some time.
Depending on where your pick goes is going to depend on where mine goes.
Okay, I see what you're doing here. A crafty veteran move on the player of the game selection by Bob Alvis. Player of the game, by the way, brought to you by Radio Shack, Main Street in Altavista. It's all going down here at the gym. It's a party on the radio here in the Subway postgame show. I'm going to go with number 2, Nelson Dews, the man that hit the buzzer beater Friday night. He does it again with a couple big threes here, some turnovers, hit 2 free throws with less than a minute to go down the stretch too, Mr. Alvis. I have a feeling he was one of the people you were considering. Am I right?
He was. Okay. Had you gone a different direction, I was going to go Nelson Dews. But I'm going to go a different direction.
Yeah.
I thought Josh McClure in the second half was huge. I mean, only 6 points, but I kind of thought he was a bit of a catalyst that got things going for the Colonels. So I got it, and he did the dirty work. I mean, you see 6 points in the books, but you don't see the gritty guttiness underneath, the rebounding, probably, maybe tiring out some of the Chargers just by the physicalness of his game as well. And when you look at Josh McClure, you don't think a physical player just on the looks right away, because he's not, an overly massive guy or anything. I mean,
He's
he doesn't
solid.
have
He's
that
solid.
look on his face
Right,
where he's going to, take your lunch money and then take it again because you didn't bring enough the next day. So, I mean, I think it's the case where McClure really plays deceptive of the way he is, and I've got to give him my vote.
I like it. Split decision vote from us, but I like it. I like what the Colonels did. I know it wasn't their A game, but sometimes you got to win without having your A game. They did that here tonight against a tough Charger squad. Our starting lineup before we get out of here. Oh, also, our player of the game, sound engineer Eleanor Haney, as always, battling the technical demons again, coming out with solid performance, the one and only Eleanor Haney. Okay, now our starting lineup. The streaming online audio brought to you by Chad Rakos, your All-State agent in Windhurst. Basketball fans, always in good hands with Chad. We've also got to thank these folks, the Moose Family Center in Altavista, Best Bet Motors on Route 29, just south of Lynchburg, Finch & Finch Funeral Cremation Service in Altavista and Gladys, the Altavista Office of Economic Development, PCM Industrial Services, English Construction, KCD Maintenance, El Cazador on Main Street in Altavista, Highview Motors GMC, English's, your complete home center, First National Bank, Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, and Fellers Chevrolet. A short drive will save you money. That's going to do it for us. Colonels back in action tomorrow night, night 2 of the Jeff Cocke Memorial Invitational, taking on the Fighting Blues from Perry McClure. For Bob Alvis, for Troy Harris, for Eleanor Haney, for everybody else that had a hand in the broadcast, thanks to everybody for tuning in. We'll talk to you tomorrow night. Subway pregame show on around 7:30 between Altavista and Perry McClure on 105.5 KD Country.